it's done nothing. I was not expecting it to do nothing. Okay, we'll just hope it works. Okay. Welcome back to this. Okay, we have finished episode 0. We're going into episode 1. Is there anything that I'm missing? I don't think so. Nope. No, we don't want to do that then. Bonuses, then I guess start episode 1? Hmm? I could choose to play episode 1 in high roller mode. I am watching the audio again, making sure that that should be good. In high roll mode, you're limited to 1 save slot, and you won't be able to reload your saves while inside the courtroom. I saw this in the achievements of this game. I didn't really save much during the last one, so we may as well try it. Quick saving and autosaves will be disabled. That's gonna be a problem. The minimum ante for hands will be increased. The minimum and maximum penalties for answering incorrectly will be increased. But the maximum ante will be increased, allowing you to earn the largest possible high score for credit in this episode. It's an exclusive phone charm. Oh, we gotta try. In order to turn it back on, you have to restart the episode? Yeah, whatever. This episode contains time-sensitive choices. You can double their duration or disable them entirely in the settings menu. Testimony segments. Objectionable words or clauses will become red when you prepare to call on them. Shh. Okay. So, like Danganronpa. Again. Either decide these features at any point without affecting your high roller status. High roller mode is intended to encourage risk-taking and discourage save scumming. Consider enabling it if you want to pursue the mystery like a true gambler. Wait, hang on. That's a cool setting. Okay, standard. Save and load is often used like for the perfectionist. Limited to 1 save slot. Loading prior saves is disabled during trials. Play like a real gambler. Welcome to the high roller tables. I don't think I need tutorials. Because we played Chapter 0, and that was one big tutorial. Listen, I want to thank you for... Hang on, actually. There is one thing that we must do before. We have to customize our shit-ass phone. I think... Let's see. There's a lot. Don't know who that is. I don't want Ray's the Angie. That's cute. Head Empty London, Deep in Thought Emma. Don't know who that is. We know who that is, but she isn't here yet. You're absolutely changing this to this god-awful color. Oh, hang on. Rose gold. For 20? No, we gotta be obnoxious with it, and yes, look. I think this is the teenager. This is oh, can you fidget with it? Oh, that's cool. That's amazing. I love it. There we go. Anyway, what were we doing? Listen, I wanted to thank you for coming over. Wanted to thank you for coming over. Figured you noticed. Anyone could tell something's bothering you. You're the first person to say anything. I don't know who these people are. What happened? The police came to see me. In public? No, they wanted to be considerate of my privacy. That's a first. They wanted to talk to me about the other week. About my whereabouts and yours. Told them I didn't know anything. Well, they must have loved that. Funny. What'd you have done? Your shoes probably cursed them out. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Is there anything you want to ask me? No. Not even for a favor in return? No favors lost between friends, I say. That sounds like a toast. Why not? To friends. I'll raise a glass to that. Okay. Glass him. Vandalism detected. Incident logs. That's a nice soundtrack. That's nice. The coordinate geopositional data encoded. If I could have all citizens in the area. Yeah, fuck off, Gopper. Visuals impaired, facial recognition compromised, pinging nearby opt-ins for corroborating evidence. Hey, he's lighting up every phone in the block. We need to go now, or he'll use his outdoor voice. Or we'll have us pinned down to our dental records before he can say we're Hello. Morning, Officer Leo. You look different today. Oh, he's L30. You do something new with your uniform. Good morning to you too, Morgan citizen. To answer your question, no, I have not undergone any recent retrofitting. If I could more detailed record of my maintenance history, you can make a request for... I've got it. Must be the new coat of paints. You're referring to the act of vandalization that just took place. Only the most recent one. Super Cop over here has a new dent every time I see him. Scars honorably earned in the line of duty, scanning the street for jaywalkers and loiterers. Don't worry, ma'am. He looks sad. A report has been filed and the police are working to resolve the situation. Civil disobedience at this time of day, at 8 in the morning. What's the world coming to? There are stragglers, man, but there was a period of unrest in the area last night. Unlicensed protesting and demonstrating without a permit. Well, I help you through the book at them. The disturbance was handled, but individual instances of volatility may occur during the next 48 hours as we work to apprehend outside actors. Thanks for the forecast. So does the bleeding stop on its own? Are android blood pink? Androids don't have blood, ma'am. This is just a leakage of oxidizing fluid. Okay, so, fun fact, blood does that too. My mistake. So you don't need a bandage, I take it. The leakage will dry shortly. That conversation thoroughly exhausted, I let my mind wander as I waited for the signal to cross. I unfocused my eyes and dull my hearing, sinking beneath the hum of the city streets, and fading through the lives bustling around me like so much sea foam. Across the way, a large man with worn-out hands and an ill-fitting belt turns to a gorilla-like hulk of a machine and cuffs his hands in front of his mouth. Yo, 61! Machine halts its lifting with uncanny precision and turns to him. We're going on break. The robot tilts its head to the side. You can't work in the plier without Schwinn up on the roof, so... I don't know, take a load off, will ya? Understood, came the over-enunciated reply. The man, already walking away, tosses a diminutive wave behind him. Yeah, understood. A moment after the man turns the corner, the robot attempts to mimic the hand wave to no one in particular. That is so cute. Oh. Damn coppers on every street corner. I think we know who a copper is. Oh, hang on. A derogatory word for automated dependents, particularly ones licensed by operating under the authority of the state. Interested parties in the automated dependent industries have, on more than one occasion, lobbied for copper and other terms like it, clanker, chrome dome, microchip breath, be classified as hate speech, arguing that anti-mechanical sentiment constitutes an expression of prejudice. A word considered a form of hate speech, incidents of a destruction of corporate property where such terms were used in prior communications would qualify for additional severity and higher fines paid towards the damaged party. Under all but the most radical interpretations of hate speech law, however, prejudice can only be directed towards sentient living things, people, animals, or corporations. Except we know that these robots are sentient, sort of. Right? Wait, there was something new there. Oh, my profile's disappeared. Well, okay. Occupation, criminal, defense attorney, Likes trigonometry, rooftops, bonfires. Dislikes sunburn, baths, karaoke. Exercises by swimming. Hidden talent, I thought that said barking. Body count, you cannot ask someone that. That's great. At a bus stop, or what used to be a bus stop, now a charging station, a passionate young man voices democratic opinion loud enough for the whole street to hear. They declared martial law when I wasn't looking. The small woman beside him trying hard to appear even smaller shifts in her seat. Well, they're just doing their jobs, so bots don't have jobs, except the ones they stole from us. Notice how there's no patrol nearly so heavy in Uptown even on the worst days. His audience, captive by virtue of sharing the same charging pole as him, shuffles, coughs, and stares even harder at their phones. The woman looks at her knees and pulls at her shirt. Kind of embarrassing me right now. Makes a vague gesture with his hand to indicate he stepped off his soapbox, and the shoulders of everyone around him relax a centimeter. Now that's just a woman with exhaustion in her eyes, sighs at a hologram floating above her chrome-plated palm. Ah, as we see these. Is this different? I don't think this is different from the chapter 01. Yeah, this is the same one. Okay. While a rounded, smooth-looking android pushes a carriage behind her. Ellen, walk around a block, get her some air, would you? Apparently this call can't wait, and it's louder than a garbage disposal out here. Of course, ma'am, I'd be glad to. The android punctuates a sentence with a sound halfway between a whir and purr, which, judging by the coos and giggles coming from the child, seems to have been well received. Robots, holograms, androids, drones, coppers, if you prefer, can't so much as sneeze in the city without a dozen different ads offering you a handkerchief. This is the same. Yes, this is the same. There's a vocal minority that think they're the downfall of civilization, but for everyone else... You're too kind, ma'am. Thank you for your concern. It's hard to hate them when they're so eager to please. Crosswalk giving me the okay. Keep us safe, yeah? Have a good day, Morgan, citizen. It's a bright, crisp morning in the city. Lights changing and people moving in click-clacking harmony, all smooth as clockwork. Were I in a worse mood, it would all be a bit much. But I went out last night. Okay. So I'm feeling pretty... Okay. Do I get to read that again? Hang on. No? Okay. I don't get to read that. As I reach the other end of the street, I pivot lightly and give automated dispense assistant officer Leo my best impression of his salutes. Thank you for your service. And of course, increase automated response. No sense of sarcasm, the poor bastards. But I didn't come all this way downtown just to poke fun at the only happily employed class in human history. I don't know, I think you could call the CEOs happily employed. No, I came down here to make an important purchase. Today I'm going to buy a gun. An idle mind. Okay. Sub. Ass 69. No staff around, but all the lights are on. Should I have not? Oh, hello. Sup? Desk personality setting 6, the cool one. Let me know if I can help you with anything. You've probably forgotten more about firearms than you're programmed to remember. I bet you can. I recently acquired a license to carry concealed. Nice. Are you in law enforcement? Do you shoot for sports? Business or pleasure? Neither. May I ask why you're looking to carry concealed, ma'am? Oh, you know, assault with a deadly weapon, cruel intent. That kind of thing. Some of my clients live in very rough neighborhoods. Even in broad daylight, coming down to the lower wards for house visits can be... Oh, I see you're a lawyer. So I can say I'm in the market for self-defense. We have a wide selection of options for self-defense in a variety of sizes and calibers with spread and PA fire options available. My bad, PA stands for pseudo-automatic. I know. But for concealed, it'll have to be at least small enough to... This is going to feel a lot faster if I just tell the desk what I want. I want to be patient. But walking in here and asking for a very specific model is gun nut behavior. I'm not trying to stand out. Yeah, there we go. So the ones I test fired at the range left my shoulder sore for days. Do you have anything more discreet? Right, no problem. Electromagnetic pulse models feature minimal kickback with the highest accuracy. One targeted pulse of electricity can disable attackers at medium to short range. So no bullets, but electricity? Like a taser. Non-lethally and quietly. Sure, they're plenty quiet, but they also have piss-poor range, and even sustained fire wouldn't do shit to any modder with installation less than a few years old. Glorified tasers, I was right. Barely suitable as party favors for anxiety-stricken college kids. Well, hopefully not too quiet. I'd want someone to come running to my rescue. Of course. Would you like to take a look at our mag rails? Bullseye. We're proud to offer a number of models that utilize the latest and miniaturized ultra-capacity batteries to generate a Lorentz force which slings a slug fast enough to miss a limb at over 30 meters. Hello, what did that say? Slang for shoot, destroy, kill, especially against living things. Slang term meaning shoot or to kill that originates from the bloody spray produced when a modern firearms projectile makes contact with living tissue. A gun that size could miss a crowd from 100 meters even if you weren't aiming. Okay. And it's safe? Of course, ma'am. My bad. Two-factor safeties with GPS and emergency services sync. It won't go off unless you want it to, and someone will definitely come running. All those convenient safety features make it incredibly easy for the police or anyone who can dupe their tool set to lock you out of your own gun with the flip of a switch. You couldn't walk a piece like that down a single uptown street without passing through 9 or 10 no-fire zones. The very worst, most useless kind of weapon a criminal could buy. Sounds perfect. How do we get started? Why does it feel like every desk I run into has to be such a character? Mercifully, it's tucked itself away while the fabricators get the gun tagged. I've got time to kill, so is there anything worth checking out around the shop? Oh, hello. You still don't have the Danganronpa highlight everything, do ya? Hate these kinds of screens. Gotta look at them with your nose turned up or else they start eye tracking. Next thing you know, they're saying hello on a first name basis. I don't need to auto, but I got practice with this sort of thing. I can skim the headlines at least. Why the 12/6 work week gives us more free time than ever. Excuse me, what? I'm 14 and I tried dating a smart UI. It made me the happiest I've ever been. Ew. How term limits are anti-democracy. Oh, we are truly in the in the dystopia. Woof. Transfusion from warm androids saves soldier's life. That's a hell of a headline. If the Animate 16 wasn't sellable before, I'm sure by now... Okay, what was that? Animate 16 is the latest android produced by Noble Electronics, and we think it's the greatest machine the world has ever seen. What is... Oh, it's the advertising. The yellow is advertising. Boasting a battery life of over 54 hours, patented soft touch digitation, remarkable tenderness and sensitivity, and the uncanny charm you come to expect from us. We're sure that your Animate 16 will be the best purchase you make this year, and you'll never want to go out in the cold. The issue would kill you to clean up a little. Guess the desk telling us customers not to litter can only get you so far if you're not willing to pay someone to sweep it up. Wait, is this the trash? This flyer, it's scannable. Stagnancy theory, really? They get a lot of self-proclaimed philosophers in here? Oh, hello. Stagnant World, Modern Man's Plateau. Renowned net philosopher Corbin Cawthorne, real name withheld, offers to take you on a deep dive into the global trends and sociological patterns that have driven our planet to the halting point in this groundbreaking and controversial seminar. Moore's Law used to be the benchmark, now it feels like a pipe dream. We used to dream of humanity marching bravely into space, of artisans crafting virtual wonders that made the confines of our own reality seem limited. Instead, our brightest minds spend all their time and effort kicking the can of climate crisis down the road, while their more fortunate peers spend their most productive working years in search of hang on. Spend their most productive working years in search engine optimization and customer experience design. The middle class, eaten alive by the rich they prop up, can no longer afford the very products they help create without mass consumer demand. With no longer has evolutionary pressure, tech no longer has evolutionary pressures to be as small and powerful as possible. In stagnant waters, only parasites and diseases grow aplenty. The only cure comes from you taking action. We love Marxism. There's another link at the bottom, probably leading to a collection dish. Oh, right. Articles. Or estate honeypot if you want to be paranoid. Yeah. They better burn this shit before some neat freak idiot picks it up and gets arrested. There's some kind of news program playing on the screen. Most public places are too scared to put on any channel with content more political than the smiling Mark Grow apartment flippers. But this is a gun store after all. Power is always political. Oh, we're not going to show what it's saying? Okay. Someone left a data pad. What's in the news today? Lobo threatens Tetra with ransomware vulgarity. The internationally wanted terrorist and serial data thief, most commonly known as Lobo, who I'm 100% sure that's going to be our teenager friend, has seized a cache of vile Keystone data files belonging to the Tetra Metallics Group, according to a press release from the mining conglomerates. I am starting to get a little worried, because my stats screen still shows me as only having streamed for 5 minutes, and that bothers me. So I'm going to check to make sure my stream is still running. Because I am paranoid. It says I'm live, and it looks like I'm live. OBS just being weird. I should let it be weird. No, I shouldn't. I should not let it be weird, but whatever. In a blitz of crossposts on 90 different socials translated into all 11 dominant languages. Okay, hang on. English, Spanish, Chinese, what else? Arabic? The supposed activist radical conversations and gentleman thief made clear their intent to ransom said files back to their lawful owners at severe cost. The post quickly flagged quarantine thanks to user reports. Lobo's latest manifesto, which we have declined to publish here on grounds of journalistic integrity and due to the strong language contained therein, has remained in circulation thanks to a loose network of rogue data harbors. In addition to a sizable monetary ransom, Lobo put out a list of demands that spanned pages. Most prominent among them was a call for de-escalation of all conflicts surrounding rare earth metal deposits around the equator. Okay. Sources Tetra refused to confirm or deny reports that the Lobo's capture data impacted only their billing services, but insisted that the corporation could not in good faith resume distribution until the ransom situation was resolved. Market prices for earth metals surged following the hacking attack as supply halted and demand rose, stalked by memories of catastrophic supply chains just up to the mid-21st century. That's funny. Spokesperson for Mining is Progress, a lobbying group that represents the rare earth metal industry, called Lobo's repeated attacks acts of terror against the free market. Yeah, whatever. Lobo again, or someone using their name. I suppose it doesn't matter if they're original or not, as long as they're genuine threats. And no one can snare a corporation as rich as Tetra without serious skills. It does seem consistent with Lobo's politics, making demand... Okay, hang on. The big bad wolf was here. You are welcome for clearing out this cache of soy slop before clogging brain arteries any further. To whatever dumb as dishwater script kitty they yelled at to come fix this word of advice from your superior. I own that password suggestion algorithm. Want to re-secure? Try this. Relax your shoulders, stand up from your desk, take a deep breath, and then firebomb your own servers. Literally cheaper for you at this point. For the rest of you slack-jawed, screen lobotomites looking for a little excitement in their search history, find a pig and rip their throat out. That'll teach you how to run with the wolf. Lobo is king. We tried to reprocess your request, but Lobo beat our ass till we ragdolled. That is definitely the teenager. That's great. De-escalation. It's not the first time Lobo's voiced his displeasure with the decades-old simmer of conflict around the tropics, but unless the rare earth metals powering all our batteries and fueling all our pretty little androids are suddenly made a lot less rare overnight, I doubt that state will stop taking an interest in those regions' politics anytime soon. Wait, how long has it been? Shouldn't then Shouldn't take them that long to get my gun properly bugged. I'm sorry, we've received a breaking news story. We're seeking confirmation, and yes, we have it confirmed. They have hit the second tower. Lead programmer at Noble Electronics and fan designer of the Turing solution, Dr. David Asher, has passed. Okay. What? Proprietary Vantage Automated Dependent Management Systems on the Animate series of androids. Hang on. VADMS. That's not an acronym. Must be some kind of corporate propaganda tactic, or... No, they wouldn't risk. Fake news, but why? Perhaps best known for his breakthroughs in the field of machine learning and language, misinformation may be trying to authorize many other developments that allowed for Noble's rapid growth and market dominance. David Asher is dead? Including the popular desk unit of smart UIs. That's very sad. I didn't ask. Sorry, I just... Commands only. Understood. You'll be paying with cash or credit. That's sad. That's really sad. Don't do that to her. Debit. Oh, that's so sad. Oh. The gun was lighter than I expected. A real gun should always be heavy, greater than the sum of its parts. That's one of the things I like about them, their weight. Like they're anchoring the world around them. Like they're a fixed point in time. Like everything else is just relative to them, either closer or further to the end. I would have liked something heavier during that walk back to my apartment, but I would have liked to have something feel far away from. Didn't realize I was home until my hand was on the door. What is this? What am I doing? What am I doing? Fumbling in my pocket for my lighter. Golden polished, tastefully ergonomic, and fine and expensive. And a good lighter. It was a good gift. I kept the card, didn't I? Here it is. It's the only smoker in my life. I know gold's a bit much for your personal style, but they don't make a lot of these anymore. Believe it or not, the only other people who share your vice and stuff you old men with bad, expensive taste. Hope you manage to get some use out of it anyway. Your friend, David. Oh! Oh! He's dead. Likes street food, crowds, fishing, blood type O-. Eyeglasses custom designed by Fiamma. Shampoo expensive, sense of humor unique. Nice hair. Woof. The news might have more information by now. Or not, looks like the nest full of copy-pasted statements from Noble, auto-edited montages, ill-fitting quotes, and a term. Oh. David Asher was a renowned computer scientist, user experience designer, industry leader, philanthropist, and the lead programmer at Noble Electronics. His first received worldwide recognition for his postgraduate theses on intelligent programmatic linguistic weighting, a body of work which would come to be known as the Turing solution, though he retained the original patent on the Turing solution for the rest of his life. Patents in the future only last till you're dead, eh? He was famously unlitigious. By most industry experts' estimates, the Turing solution exists in some form in 92% of active automated dependent service codes. David Asher's philanthropic efforts and invaluable skills placed him at the front and center of Noble Electronics' public image. Many considered him to be the unofficial face of the company. His private life graced the tabloids and gossip sections of the net on many occasions. David Asher passed away on June 31st. Citation needed. Lamau. Reactions to the news from every micro-celebrity under the sun. Their raw, authentic emotion brought to you live from all the cars, streets, and bathroom mirrors of the world. But there's nothing about his death, not even a time window. Did he die this morning? Was he found dead in his bed? Has he been dead for days while Noble's just been waiting for the right time to let it leak? Or did he die last night while I was out screwing around? A phone call? Better not be work-related. I'm not in the right mood. Oh, Morgan. Hey, thanks for picking up so fast. She's Jessica Starling, who asked me to call her. Hi, Jess. Ah, she looks peppy. Executive assistant at Noble Electronics. Likes dancing, buying shoes, reselling shoes. A side hustle. Dislikes hangovers, dislikes soft mattresses. And machismo. Charm point her earnest smile. Agreed. Relaxes by bar hopping in the lower wards, the best at reading the stock markets. Reading the stock market, reselling shoes, an executive assistant. She works 3 jobs. She is a hustler. We respect the hustle. Listen, I need to. I've already seen the news. What? Oh, of course you have, duh. I'm sorry I didn't tell you sooner. I just, with the company and their people and all, what I mean is, if it were up to me, you would have been the first call I made. For a decision like that to be up to David's assistant, about 1,000 other noble employees above her on the ladder would have had to get axed. But it's alright, Jess. No one can ever really knows what to do with these kinds of things. Still, I'm sorry you had to hear it from a stream, Cryon. What difference does it make how the information gets to me? I could have stumbled upon his corpse myself and I would feel mostly the same because I am psychotic. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to call anyway. Yeah. For more information, she's the best source I'm going to get, maybe for weeks. What to ask at a time like this? I'm supposed to express denial first, but she's probably short on time. What do you mean express denial first? I don't feel like pulling the playbook to the letter right now. Can you tell me what happened? The police, they think that he took something. Suicide? The police are already involved. They say it's some kind of poison or... God. Noble's got a lot of weight to bludgeon the state with, especially in this city. I would think they'd keep the police at arm's length for at least a few days. Listen, Morgan, I need to ask something of you. No, of course, Jess, whatever you need. Whatever you need. Bit much, but she's grieving. This is just how people talk. It's not like my day was really salvageable anyway. I'd like to bring you up here to David's place. What do you mean? There's something I have to give you. You're not handling his will already, are you? Police are involved. It'll be a while before... No, I'm sorry. It's not like that. Before he... What is... Oh, she's got an inhaler. No, please, don't hold back on my account. David asked me to get this in your hands. It wasn't work-related, but he asked me. I know I'm asking a lot here, but since it turned out to be the last thing he ever asked me to do, I'd like to get it done. Oh. I don't like showing up at crime scenes more often or more quickly than strictly necessary, because I am a wizard. Let's list the things. She is a criminal, a mother, a wizard, a psychopath. We can add to this. And that's what I only have to worry about the police. With Noble looming over, the security will be doubled and scrutiny tripled. This is too risky. There's no logical reason to agree to a request. Swing by my place with a cab, yeah? Besides my own morbid curiosity. Right, of course. Thanks, Morgan. Thank you. Wait, I almost forgot. Oh, what is it? You don't happen to have anything you could wear in black, do you? Is this like a funeral that you're taking me to? The autocab hums with synthesized purrs. Our on-ramp merges to a kind of a superhighway steadily and suddenly and all at once. Isn't her normal getup black? It's a black jacket with a white shirt. Am I misremembering? Not much super about it, but it does cast one hell of a shadow. Canopies always felt very arts and crafts to me. Cobbled together, always added on to, never finished, never planned. I kind of like those. The natural human paths. Desire paths. I like those. It's clearly taken a lot of time and effort to make, but the end result's still ugly. Welcome to humanity. It feels like it could fall apart at any moment. Also, welcome to humanity. You okay, Morgan? You look a little carsick. I'm fine, thanks for asking. But if I ignore her text now, she'll just send more later. Currently texting with Witch. Hey, Freckles. Saw your friend Asher on the news. Who is Witch? That doesn't look like the prosecutor. RIP. Thank you. For trying to be sincere. Worth a shot. We all have our strengths. God damn, you were one passive-aggressive little girl. Why is all your filial piety go out the window whenever you talk to me? So filial piety, she is her mother? Filial piety doesn't work on you. You love yourself too much to appreciate respect. True, true, went the train. See, Freckles, you can be very insightful. I don't think that's her mother. When you aren't too busy side-eyeing the whole world. Wonder where I picked that up from. Not from me? Haha, that is her mother. I'm pretty sure you were born muttering insults under your breath. Yes, babies are like that. The nurses tried to make you cry and you responded by giving them self-esteem issues. Did you ever have dealings with Noble? 10 out of 10 shift in the convo. Settle as a car crash. Sadly, it doesn't work on you either. Well, it might. If you're good at it. If you tried. You tried? Have you ever thought about trying? This is me asking you for advice. Are you gonna... Okay, I guess it's never sunk in. Because you spent most of your apprenticeship asleep. My clients were all celebs. The rich and famous. I didn't have that many dealings with the Megs that owned their likenesses. Okay, is it really that different? Plenty. Celebs don't like people seeing their dirty side. So they pay smart people like me to clean up their messes. Okay, how is that different from corporations? But Megs don't like people seeing them at all, period. And also, Megs are a lot more lively when it comes to, I don't know, killing, fucking. Gross. Hard workers with a lot of stress to vent. Oh my god. Stop. Do you have any actual help to offer? Truth be told, I did have one run-in where I got... Okay, it's balls deep into corporate intrigue. Sure, that's less disgusting. Okay, never mind. Because I got caught, blank, 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 up the blank of Analyfe 45's poster girl. Oh, cool. Her mom's bisexual. God damn it. Hard worker. Lot of stress events. Glad to know I can always reach out to you anytime in my time of need. I'm gonna let that slide because I know you're mourning. Good lord. Look. Corporate types are all a bunch of paranoid drug addicts. Yes. Huffing glue and playing roulette on their phones. Yes. While fantasizing about stabbing everyone else in the meeting to death. True. So don't expect them to play nice just because Asher was your pal. Yes. My actual advice is get whatever you're owed, then get out of there fast as shit, boy. Oh, she's her aunt. That makes a lot more sense. That's a beautiful thought, Auntie. I mean it. Corporations prefer Viking funerals. What's a Viking funeral? You don't know what a Viking funeral is? A dignified ceremony where the body's sent out to sea on a boat. Then they set it on fire. They set everything on fire and sink the ashes to the bottom of the ocean. Try not to linger, Freckles. You don't want to be stuck on board when they start knocking their arrows. Thanks. Actual advice. Yay! What the hell was that about me sleeping on the job? I worked harder in one day than any of you Gen Alpha drunks did all week. Should have worked smarter, lol. And if you want to go there, you did literally fall asleep on the job. Jesus Christ. Okay. Okay. What is they? What is that? Why do you... It's not even accurate. No, it's accurate. What is this song? This is bopping. Work parties are still work, Freckles. I only had my eyes closed. Because you old farts had your cameras flash on. We're getting something wrong, you're sweating. Just deleting some spam. Masters. Oh, hello. Weight depends on the time of day. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Occupation, lawyer to the rich and famous, semi-retired. Likes handsome men, pretty women, expensive liquor. Dislikes clingy people, prudish people, flying commercial. Jewelry 24 karat, age difficult to verify. Smokes cigars, Death 13 cigarettes, and quote, other adult stuff. That is interesting. We got a couple more minutes of crawling through the canopy's guts before we reach David's part of the city. Uptown, our better half. Gleaming opera houses and towering corporate apartments. Boutique shops with more cameras than customers. Penthouses stacked upon penthouses in a frantic climb to the top of the rat pile, all ringed in by restaurants with long wait times and small serving sizes. The joke is that uptown folks go most of the year without touching street level. Not much of a punchline there, it's basically true. By now his whole block must be swarmed with cops, themselves surrounded by media and all encircled by onlookers. I could try and enjoy these last few minutes of calm, but if the storm's coming out of the way, I'd rather use this time to try and find my footing. Actually, Jess, if you got a second, I was curious about... So that's because I read the headline. It shouldn't advance. I should be able to come back. I saw the headline, by the way, the one where your warm android saved that soldier's life. Oh yeah, feel good, don't you think? These folks at the company must have been in high spirits lately, I take it. That's what I thought when I first heard about it, but... I don't know, maybe upper management's never happy? Because they're still riding sales harder than ever, pushing the traditional customer markets. I thought they started building a pitch for Congress the day the story dropped. A big patriotic campaign telling everyone why we need a contract for warm androids in the military. But I haven't heard about them moving staff around for anything like that. Maybe it's all above my pay grade. I just realized something. I got coins when I looked at the article, and then I got coins for this, which I unlocked by reading the article. So you lose out on a lot if you don't look at everything. This is a dumb observation. And there are still such joyless assholes they won't even celebrate their victories. Okay, cool. Remind me, how many years did you and David work together? Oh... I started with the company about 4 years ago. Did I read this already? I think I've read this already. Yes, I read this already. They offered me a temp contract when I was graduating. I was put in HR right in the middle of a hiring burst, so I spent 2 months in the Warrens. They're an aptitude test got me fast-tracked to mid-low management. Sorry, Warrens? No, that's just what we called the company dorms back then on account of all the people. Ah. Plus it was underground. Didn't see the sun that month. My skin got so dry. Is that normal in your industry? Normal for everyone I've worked with. Except David, of course, but he was the best. Yeah. One Tuesday morning, Dr. David Asher walked right up to my desk like I had won the lotto. Said I should come work for him, Dr. David Asher, directly. On a random Tuesday morning, like it was nothing. He didn't like to do things on Mondays. Said people were always too tired to get anything done anyway. That's right. He did say that. I should know by now, right? 3 years of arranging meetings and keeping him organized and occasionally straightening his tie. He was a good boss. He was a good guy. Yeah. When did you last speak with him? In person? Thursday. Thursday afternoon. The day before yesterday. He seemed normal. I mean, We still don't really know anything, Jess. You're right, thanks. Thursday's the last time I saw him, and that was when he asked me to meet with you. Guess you've already been to his place? Yeah, it's a real mess over there. Is that bloody? Oh god, no, not that kind of mess. I mean, with the cops stacked on the media, stacked on the lawyers, each of them with their own network of drones and all their droning. It's very, It's a very high productivity atmosphere is what I mean. When were we able to get over there? Well, I got a call from legal late last night. They weren't exactly delicate in breaking the news to me. Last night. Okay, let's look at the time frame here. When did he die? It wouldn't be in the log. It would be in terms? Oh. This entry has received an unusually large number of suggested edits in the last 44 minutes. Dissemination of disinformation is Class 3 misdemeanor, of course. June 31st. Today is July 1st. They said they need my help sorting through all his... Well, you know how he left things organized sometimes. He's been dead since last night and they've kept it under wraps that long. I know there are a lot of powerful people in his circles, but to stop it from leaking for over 12 hours... That seems like more than just your typical powerful people trying to control the narrative. It seems more like there's something they're actively trying to suppress. So you found out last night. Right, last night. Oh god. I'm so sorry, I should have told you as soon as I found out. Really, it's alright. Did you see anything? No, I still haven't actually seen him at all. He was airlifted to the hospital ASAP, and that's where he passed, so... Well, I didn't get the impression that the cops had been there that long. Not compared to the lawyers, they and the rest of the company people seemed pretty entrenched. Noble set up camp before the police arrived. So what time would that have been? You guys got there around 9 p.m.? Yeah, because at 9:15 they switched my phone to silent mode and I got locked out of everything but my work stuff. Sent my last blah at 9:13. See, gonna expire whoever put me in heels this morning. It me. It me. They can do that to your phone, lock you out of the social media? Of course not. Well, unless I'm on the clock or off the clock but on company property. And they can remote all my tech, yeah. How convenient. So if I got at 9 p.m., I guess the rest of the company people had been there since 8:30 p.m.? I hadn't been there more than a few minutes before the mood changed. Word about the hospital declaring him dead had started to leak. I see. He died after he reached the hospital. That's unexpected. It's 2086. You might be in trouble if you get stuck in bureaucratic purgatory when you need to be in the emergency room, but other than that... You reach the hospital alive. A good doctor can stabilize most any patient within a few moments. And Noble Electronics' lead programmer would have a very good doctor. So what the hell happened? Is she mistaken? Was he just not officially declared dead until reaching the hospital for some reason? Or... Hard to think about, I know. Yeah. Or hard to believe. Just have to wonder, what kind of request did David make of you that it couldn't wait a few days? Right, of course. He asked me to give you something. Something? Trying to build suspense? Right, it's just, well, I don't know exactly what it is. You have no idea. He asked me to give you the contents of his safe. Are we headed to the bank then? No, see, he has his private safe in his basement. Maybe you've seen it? Well, I say safe, might be more accurate to call it a storage locker or a false wall. And all he told you that he wanted me to have what's inside. Right, he was very clear about that part. Your eyes only, straight into your hands. Handle it in person, he said. Strange. It's all pretty analog for someone as technically gifted as David. I don't know. I feel like people who work in tech really like analog stuff for security purposes. Coming from anyone else, I'd call it paranoid, but David was never paranoid. When we had every right to be. If you wanted this handled a certain way, it must be for a good reason. So, David asked you to do this on Thursday, correct? Yeah, Thursday. We passed last night, Friday. Yeah. Wait, you don't think that when he met, he had already decided? It's not healthy to speculate on that sort of thing. More importantly, it's not helpful. The dead don't have anything to offer the living. Unless you're playing Baldur's Gate. I should know. You're probably right. Besides, we need to focus. Judging by the side of the crowd I'm looking at, it looks like we're about to jump into the thick of it. Cutscene? Noble Employee Housing Building, Platea. I thought there were a lot of police here before. Maybe too late to ask, but you're not bad with crowds, are you, Morgan? She's kidding, right? It's downright airy in here compared to what we just waded through. Wide eyes and clenched fists, heads peeking over shoulders and around signs, police, both mechanical and warm-blooded, closing ranks with holograms and quick-set wires to draw a severe perimeter. While protesters, mourners, fanatics, and busybodies shuffle about the edges of the police line, the heat of their panicked anxiety washing over. Who the hell were all those people? Well, there have always been people with strong feelings about our products. Android stepped forward into the mob, gently, firmly, unfeelingly parting the human tide. Most of them official police branding, but a few remotely deputized consumer models emerged from the crowd to join them. All of them built by Noble. All of them built from David's code, and all of them standing vigil outside his tomb. This is all technically company property, isn't it? Yep, David had the penthouse all to himself, but every other floor's tenants are Noble employees too. Not an uncommon arrangements. In Uptown, work at Noble, rent from Noble. Wave hello to your Noble neighbor in the morning, and make sure to request a spot in line at the official company crematorium. We didn't actually do that last part, I think. Does Noble handle employee funerary arrangements? Yeah, it's a pretty standard benefit, actually. It's cheap for them compared to dental. But Noble's always been generous with benefits. Work hard and the company will have you set for life. And after. Ugh. Both the state and Noble have gotten themselves attention here in the lobby. Security and damage control and PR and liability. Everybody's just glad to be working. I'm feeling a little overstimulated. Any chance we can just skip all these checkpoints? No, absolutely not. So who do you need permission from? The cops or the company? My request went through, so we should have the go-ahead from both at this point. We don't need to go near the actual, It's still called a crime scene, if it's not technically a crime. I don't want to think about how many suits Noble's paying to debate that question right this very instant. David's vault is in the penthouse basement, but we can't get to it from these ground floor elevators. I'll have to ride straight up to the rooftop veranda, walk in his front door, and then head down. If Jess says we can do that all without telling where he died, then... Okay. So if you just flash my ID card at any problem that comes up, including him... Hey, it's you. Hey, ladies, look, I'm sorry, but I'm afraid we're at capacity at the moment. Let anyone else by won't be able to maintain... Oh, you're that lawyer, Morgan. Hi, Bud, how are you? That... I just realized that noise should not have played. Hang on. That, I believe, is from OBS. How do I... That's interesting. You chilling? That's nice. I would be chilling too, but I spent like an hour fixing this. There we go, hang on. We're getting there. Bingo. That should work. Did it work? Did it work? Did it work? Why is that? Okay. That is weird. Is that better? That is better. OBS does love to break. It does. It does, it does, it does. So does my computer. Hang on. There we go. No, that isn't it either. I guess I will just have to deal with it. I'm hoping that's not coming across, but if it does, I'll deal with it. How long has it been? Feels like it's been ages. Oh dear. Not still bitter about last encounter, I hope. No, Liv. I don't see the spunky one around. She's taking a mental health day to preserve that unflappable charm. Detective Reyes is around. Why, you miss her that bad? I've had blind pimples that were more endearing. She was nice. Come on. You two know each other? Jess Starling, meet homicide detective Kasim London. No, you're not gonna... Oh, there it is. Homicide detective, first class. Likes fall colors, morning air, dimples. Dislikes touchscreen, cheap earbuds, white rum. Cats or dogs? Both. Good at coming up with nicknames, bad at remembering birthdays. Cool. It's a pleasure, miss. Oh, likewise? As you might have guessed, Detective and I are acquainted. Comes with this line of work. Work is being modest, sweetheart. We're practically blood. Wow, me? Sweetheart? Something wrong, Starlet? Oh, God, she likes him. Poor lady. The closer we are, I can't let her walk in the street and into the scene of an ongoing investigation. Even Noble's lawyers have to play by the rules today. Play by the rules. There is a game afoot. Makes you assume I'm here in a What makes you assume I'm here in a professional capacity? You're a criminal defense attorney. We're in a crime scene. Call on old man's intuition. Good detectives don't rely on intuition, though, do they? They rely on evidence. No, I don't rely on it. Don't worry. I just need to lean on it every now and then when my back acts up. Oh, cool. Guy gets a bit of gray in his hair and thinks it's a free pass, acts like a goddamn cowboy. Well, I'm afraid your intuition is off this morning, detective. I'm here on a private matter. The deceased wasn't your client? No, that would have been a conflict of interest. Conflict? You two knew each other? I see. In that case, let me give you my condolences. Oh, thank you. But I could really use this bit of your help. You sure rally fast. Jess? Right. We have this clearance here, Detective, sir, from legal, which allows us... That's right, little lady, I trust you. You can leave the paperwork holstered for now. Little lady? This is so sad. Poor girl. We aren't here for David, really. We won't be setting foot anywhere near your staging area, Detective. Alright, why not? How generous. I can afford to be generous today, because if I screw up... He gestured to the lobby full of suits and cops. Plenty of folks at hand ready to pick up the slack. Well, if you're that at ease, perhaps I can take this time to ask a few questions? Hey, you can always ask, Tiger, but I think you understand what I mean when I say whether or not I can answer is not entirely up to me. You're looking tired, as always. How long have you been here, anyway? Since this morning, but civilized folks don't call it morning when the streetlights are still on. Yes. Even if you got here around 1 or 2 in the morning, that still means homicide wasn't brought in until hours after Noble had to land. Sounds like you could use a break. I could use a retirement package. Hey, you're a lawyer, right? According to all my business cards. Think I can sue for elder abuse? Not that kind of lawyer, sorry. You would lose, though. I already regret asking. I think I got a homicide detective losing sleep over this anyway. A man is dead and he wasn't killed by fire, a vehicle, organized criminals, or disinformation, as far as we know. So at the moment, homicide's technically not the worst fits. But we're leading in name only. A high-profile death like this, everyone's got an eye on us. And a hand placed firmly on the back of our neck. I've been checking my phone, but the only thing the news seems to agree on is that David passed away. Sorry, but if you're asking for details... No, thank you. For not letting them make this into a parade. No, comma, thank you for not letting them make this into a parade. Not no, thank you. I don't need details. Yet. We do our best to respect the privacy of anyone involved with an ongoing investigation. He declined to say victim. A detective, Dr. Asher was a close friend of mine for many years. Yeah, he trusted Morgan more than anyone. This is a mistake. He should not have done that. Can you tell me if he killed himself? It looks like that's the case. I see. Thank you for telling me that. Dr. Ash. Yeah, you're, well, sorry. Another round of guarded words. David was an important man and has only been a few hours, but all his tiptoeing gives me the feeling that whatever happened to David wasn't cut and dry. You boys and Noble all getting along with each other, sharing your toys? Some of the younger ones are bristling, but I always play well with others, Counselor. And how well do the Megs play with you? We've already read this one. Yes, we have. They give you full access to building security? They've given us access, and they say it's full. Some big penumbra system, top of the line coverage, top to bottom of the building. The size of the data stream's torrential. It'll be a while before we can start making sense of it all. A more conspiratorial man might think that was intentional. Bury some data and hope we're too swamped to find out whatever they're trying to hide? Maybe. Wait, they give you full access to the penumbra? But that means every android in the building is feeding you their full spectrum. You know your stuff. The penumbra pulls data from any androids connected to a building's net, but that's not much help since since there weren't any androids in the penthouse. Right. You know, I'd heard the rumors, never put much stock in them, but it's true. Asher really never owned a single android. Never. Well, I suppose I might do the same if I was a genius who programmed them all. Every time they opened their mouths, it'd just be his own lip service refracted 1,000 times over, echoing back at him from behind a mask he carved. So that means you'll have to investigate with penthouse security cameras. Yeah, but that should be more than enough to wrap up a case like this. In a good way, I mean. You're very much on top of this, ladies. Are you, though? David was one of the biggest names in tech. He was the face of Noble Electronics. Uh-huh. One could argue androids are only as common as they are today because of his contributions to the fields. Yeah, some people felt that way, sure. So you think anyone would want to hurt him because of that? Remind me, which one of us is a detective again? It is me. You really won't let me pick your brain? You already know the answer. Yes, ads are controversial, androids especially. We at Noble are aware that our products are subject of heated debate, but no need to quote the handbook at us, miss. Truth be told, I never really understood the hate. It's not that complicated, is it? How many people have lost their jobs to an ad at least once in their career? Every last one of them lost their jobs because their bosses, their flesh and blood bosses, fired them. And ads are just a symptom. Scratch that, ads are just a product. Very communist. Getting mad at them is pointless, and vandalizing them is less than pointless because unlike us, they're all insured. And besides, android production has surged over the last decade, becoming one of the nation's biggest exports. True. I said at least one thing we make in this country. That's right. Noble only outsources the production of a small handful of internal components. Every other part of the manufacturing process is proudly done right here at home. Where is home? Are you talking about the city? What country are we in? I somehow doubt everyone considers the specifics of Noble's supply chain to be that point of a natural pride, but you don't need a political science degree to see how much the state values Noble's contributions to the national economy. Alright, now listen, I don't mind being helpful, and I am trying to be sensitive here, but we really do have a lot of our hands at the moment, so I'm going to ask you to be discreet and ideally fast. Well, our business is just in the basement, David's basement. But the penthouse is on the top floor of the roof, so the basement would be second and last floor if you want to be detective. If you want to be technical detective, the point is, we don't need to be going to the kitchen or the parlor. We'll go straight to his workshop and then head downstairs. The kitchen and the parlor. I understand. But all the same, I'd like to escort you two ladies there myself. Wow, an escort, like royalty. Isn't he a gentleman? Oh, yes, he's... Lead the way, detective. You're bullying her, Morgan. Absolutely bullying her. True to his word, London ushered us past the chattering suits and humming drones through the checkpoints into the elevator. As it climbed into the sky, we got a good look at the glowing throng of people gathered outside and its shifting makeup. Seems like it's mostly protesters now, or worst, brand loyalists. They each led around by the nose their whole life, following the musk of whatever trend is laid out before them each morning. Today's trial having led them here, for half reasons they couldn't put into words even if their lives depended on it. They're like insects. Interesting. And they look like them from up here. They're probably already preparing their spin, the misunderstood genius of Dr. David Asher, a video essay in 5 parts. Why the company insisted on cultivating such a following for him, I've never understood. They could have easily pinned his achievements on someone more marketable. Some random photogenic employee or a fashion model with glasses. Where is he? He is a pretty boy. Absolutely you can get him in front of a camera. David wouldn't have minded. He never wanted the attention, the chaos. Maybe it's as simple as bad luck. He just happened to have the right look for the parts. A man buried in his work with his eyes fixed ahead. 2086. Noble Employee Housing Building, Plachia. Penthouse. This is, what, his laboratory? His shop, he called it. How down to earth. It's messy in here. David was always disorganized. Why a programmer needed to make such a mess just to run tests on computers, I'll never. But sloppy as he could be, he didn't like it when other people saw it. If he was leaving things like this, he must not have entertained any guests down here in some time. Oh, thanks for your help, Detective London. Don't mention it. What, you want me to step out? You won't take long. Not looking for boldness, are you? Look, I have to take a phone call. We'll be in and out as soon as possible, promise. And whatever Dr. Ash wanted set aside for his foundation, we'll be sure to flag it. Right. At least she's already wearing gloves. If you find a dead body, you'll be our first call. Morgan, what's that stuff about this foundation? Dr. Ash's charity has always been managed by an outside group. You haven't spent a lot of time around crime scenes, have you? Actually, this is my first. Well, generally speaking, it's not really common to retrieve things from premises while the cops are still searching them. Oh. Look, if David has something to give me, we can go get it. We just can't make a ton of noise about it, understand? Oh, of course. Great, after you. Right, quiet as a church house. The phrase is quiet as a church mouse, but... I just realized what's going to happen. I just realized what they're going to get. Oh no. Caught myself, I'm okay. But now it doesn't seem like time to correct her. David's shop was a mess, but the mess felt familiar. It was very David. Coming down here, I barely recognized the place. For starters, it's a goddamn gym. David hated exercise, always claimed he didn't have the time for it, even when I got him that treadmill and the subscription for the personal coaching program with the scheduling and subroutine. Said he couldn't find the time. And then even when I explained to him that the program accounted for that and adapted to his schedule, he still... Morgan, what's up? You're smiling, what's so funny? Nothing, just surprised to see the place renovated. Yeah, he actually had me on mail tag with a couple contractors a while back. Never thought I had to learn so much about concrete and wiring and marble. Do you know marble needs to be treated, or else indoor air will start to corrode it? I didn't know that. Is it true? Wait, is it not? But a guy told me that an epoxy finished an entire bar table could... It was at the vault over there, then. Yeah. Stands out, I guess. Mm-hmm. Nervous? What's that? Oh, a little, I guess. But the inhaler helps mostly, so... Aren't you gonna open it? Open it, Don't you know the combination? No, I do not know the combination to David's basement vault. Oh. Oh no, how could I... He didn't tell you or give you a code, or... He gave me the code to get into the building, in the parking garage, but not the code to whatever this is. Okay. You know, there were a lot of scattered paper back at his shop. Could he have left you a note on one of them? Yes, he could have. He would have. In fact, I think he probably did. You just stay here, right here, Morgan. I'll have it settled in just a sec. Sounds good. Right then. Well, it's definitely locked. Looks like it's a Tethys basic. That I haven't read. Largest online shopping and consumer shipping corporation on Earth, and a dominant economic force that frequently courts controversy by skirting monopoly and labor laws in every nation in which it operates. And yes, we do really have everything for sale. So just digitally the search engine, head over to our online store to find what you're really looking for. Hot stuff. Great. Nothing basic about it, but at least you can see the password limited to 6 characters. Morgan is 6 characters. Slim chances, but what the hell, why should I give it a shot? Ooh, I'm going to guess my birthday. Damn. Okay, that was dumb. I don't really want to dwell on why I thought that would work. Forget it. There's a different terminal over here. Cutter security systems according to the label. Maybe it controls the whole room? Yeah, it's password protected too. And the code's 64 digits long. What's the point of a camera system that's harder to crack than your literal vault, you egghead? Okay, yeah, a programmer probably would care more about his IoT than whatever can fit in a safety deposit box. We've read this one, yes? Yes. Guess it's the 6-digit vault or nothing. But I'm a lawyer, not a lockpick, and whatever other felonies I get up to my private time, I've never pulled off a bank heist before. Only tool I got here is my head. So what do I know? I know whatever David put in a safe, he wanted it kept secure, and I also know that he wanted me to have it. So maybe he thought ahead. Maybe he guarded it in such a way that I would be the only one who could get to it. David liked games, and he really liked beating me. So if he's left one last puzzle for me, I don't mind going out another round. Oh boy. Ooh. Admire question mark? I need to see what admire question mark does. It's a very big painting, and it's impressionist? Cubist, which is still incorrect. No, cubicle. Yeah, cubicle. It sounds right. It is not. This is great. I love it. Whatever style, I do not remember David like this painting. Oh my god. Big orange-blue painting. Showing results for Predator Predator. Oil on canvas painting by the mid-21st century neo-abstract expressionist Mads Haythorpe. Arguably his most well-known work is displayed in the Krullenheim Centre d'Art Moderne for 9 months before Haythorpe entered the premises on 11/25/58 and used a hunting knife to cut the singular mass of canvas into 3 separate pieces. When asked for comment, Haythorpe replied, "My works are not complete until they have been signed." Weird. Okay. If there's a date on it, that could be a 6-digit password, but I don't see one anywhere. Maybe signing your work was considered gauche amongst the Cubalists. I don't know if it's that. Taking a close look, this is a pretty serious looking set of resistance training equipment, and these weights, they're all set near the max. If the noble hadn't appointed him a nutritionist along with a stylist, David would be downright scrawny, but there's no use putting up with these numbers. In which case, the digits on the weights could be a clue, but there's too many and I can't guess the order. So what the hell, Asher? Did you just set all the weights to max because it looks more neat? Yes, I believe that. I believe that. This must be his spare liquor cabinet. Damn, there's a lot of good stuff in here, and a lot of bottom shelf swill. The kind of bargain bin vodka and nose burner whiskey that only an undergrad programmer could love. Nostalgia sweet like that, overpowering. 1 part per million could cover up even the cheapest aftertaste. David's wine collection is still towering over the room. Don't know why he buys so many bottles. He didn't even particularly like this stuff. Maybe just to fill out all these shelves? But not all the bottles are untouched. Some of them don't have dust on them at all. There's a mechanism for shaving bottles off the rack. The latest bottle chosen was a Murdercamp 81. Could be significant, except vintages only list the year they were bottled, not the month or day. There's not enough digits for the code. Okay, well, it's definitely the... You're letting me advance, but the fact that you're letting me advance has me worried. Oh, there we go. This flooring's a new addition. Looks rough like sandpaper, but it's bouncy, rubberized. Feels like something you drag your feet on at the gym on a factory floor. It's more high performance than high class, expensive, but not in the way you'd expect from a penthouse. Maybe I'll scratch that, it's actually cracked here. Rubber doesn't break, it bends, that's its thing. So someone must have cheaped out during the installation and left a defect in. That, or David left a jackhammer on overnight. Alright, I've searched the whole room now. Time to make a break. Can I... Wait a minute. Can I check the... Uh-oh. Shit. I thought I would have access to my notes. I didn't want to write it down. I can do this with the internet. I'm going to look up that note on that article. Okay, that was not quite the search. Okay. Well, that's not going to help at all. Any of you in chat remember what the the code was, the date on the thing was? I could check the replay. That would be a pain in the ass to do, though. Okay, there we go. Hang on. No. Great. No dice. Okay, hang on. Wasn't a profile, it was a term. 1125 at 58. 1125 at 58. Yes, there was a hint. 1125 58. Oh, yeah. A password that is and isn't left in plain sight. Nice one. Hey, Morgan, how'd you get it to open? What is that? I turned back around just in time to see a door finish swinging open with a mechanical race revealing a girl with a barcode emblazoned across her temple. Required by law to be plainly visible. It's an android, clearly marked as such, and yet, even sitting this close, I could swear it's asleep. I stepped forward and placed the back of my wrist on the android's brow. Warm. It, must be a prototype for the Animate 16. Or maybe a prototype for the 17 or 18? Biomechanical android with real human flesh. Biomechanical, yes, but it's organic flesh, not human. They're grown from lax-hegemonic cultures, but sorry, I misspoke. I put human flesh on it. This is my flesh. Alright, understandable, since you seem surprised, Jess. Hasn't Noble been working on warm androids for a few years now? We've read this one, yes? Yes, we have. Warm androids like this one. I mean, yes, we have. Sorry, it's just that this particular model is it's very cutting edge. Bleeding edge, just right of flesh in those cheeks. I think it's safe to say we found what we're looking for. I think so too. That presents a problem then. Oh, do you not, approve? I've got nothing against androids. My concern is a bit more immediate and, well, practical. Practical? I don't know how to turn it on. Well, you start by giving it dinner. Then you flirt. Do you see a switch or something? Do you? Can we turn it around, or...? I poke the android's ribs. A little less give than I expected, given its frame, but the rigidity is remarkably lifelike. I place my hand on the shoulder and give it a shake, but it doesn't budge. This thing has to weigh more than... Right, androids mostly support themselves, so people are always surprised to find out they're a bit heavier than they look. I'm surprised the whole room isn't slanted. There's no way in hell we're moving this thing without waking it up. Crap. First the vault, now this. I was able to guess the combination just by poking around. Compared to that, finding this hunk of junk's power switch should be child's play, and I think I know where to start. Jess, I'm gonna step back into the lab for a moment, alright? No, but sure, I'll, just copy a manual around here. Good idea, it might be some kind of prototype, but it's still got a barcode. If you can scan its GIN number? That is a new one. Generic identification number is a string of numerals typically encoded into a barcode that labels an automated dependent. The automated dependent industrial revolution. Concerns about the lessening gap between man and machine led governments to pass laws mandating that all ads clearly identify themselves as such to counteract rapid disinformation and identity theft campaigns. Manufacturers are responded by stamping the GIN code onto android bodies, most commonly in the cheek, above the collarbone, or on the back of the hand. Some companies place the GIN on the wrist, but this quickly incurred backlash. Concerns about automated dependence impersonating humans have dropped precipitously since then, and the GIN has instead taken on new life as a cultural icon, as powerful and easily recognizable as any corporation's logo. Fake GIN barcodes, fins, are one of the most commonly requested tattoos. The vast majority of reputable parlors will draw a line through the barcode once finished to avoid breaking identity law, although there are some clients who care little about the consequences. MMA fighter Samli Paka infamously sported a GIN tattoo across his right knuckles, and made a show of signing a check to pay the fine for displaying a false GIN on an international broadcast every time he enters the ring. That's unique. Yeah, of course. All generic ID numbers should be paired with industry standard files and maintenance tracking power requirements. I somehow doubt that the enigmatic android taking a catnap at a sarcophagus in David Asher's basement will have a user manual, but it can hurt. It can't hurt for her to try, and I know where it is. I'm okay. Broke a heel, but I'm okay. I carry glue. And I'd rather search the lab by myself. Ooh, yeah. Now then, if I were David and I want to make sure only one person would be able to walk out of here with that android, how would I set that up? Okay, there's one. Boot up. Examine. Check. These appear to be holding tanks for something. How should I know? No labels on anything. Typical for a genius. No, you should label everything. But I'm for anyone trying to pick up after him. You should label your things. It's a lot more hard science than I expected here. Centrifuges and glasses and microscopes, you should label these things. Don't programmers do all their work with the keyboard? Haven't seen what it's called. This must be a 3D printer. This is huge. Of some sort. Feels expensive enough to make other printers look like soda fountains by comparison. Soda fountains are also huge. Better not mess with any of the settings. Diagrams of human anatomy. The hands are highlighted. The most developed part of the human body. Good for making stone axes and sending emails. What is this and why does it look like it's been injured? Robots and frames can do just fine with claws or 3D imitations, but androids are expected to look like people and move like them too. Getting the hands right must be a big priority at Noble. That tree-like shape on the right is a neuron. Those branches receive input of varying weight, and then the sum is... what? Sum is greater than a certain threshold, the neuron fires. A 0 becomes a 1, all the other zeros run it, take it into consideration. Well, no. No. Not worth getting into. Repeat that a couple billion trillion times a second, and you got the human brain, a computer powerful enough to simulate all of reality. I see, now I read a magazine anyway. It was wrong. Looks like a fairly normal computer. If I'm lucky, this is here to be fairly normal as well. You got your neurons firing yet? I did. I did not check to see if that bleep went through. Dear brother, did you hear a noise when you made that chat? Vocal commands. David Asher? Morgan? Guest? Thank you for logging in as guest. It didn't recognize my voice, so I can probably rule out a vocal command being the key to waking the android. Do you have a possibly? Maybe if Renoko's still here, she can say... Also, hello. More than one. For now, what should I search for on this computer? Oh, wait, I only get one. Hang on. Basements? 812 zones in the local drive. Should I expand the search? Auditing how you renovate his basement could take all day. Android? 60,000 results. I did hear a noise, but it's hard to tell if it was the game or you. Well, here I'm going to do something that should not show up on stream. I will open the audio mixer. And you. And does that change anything on this end? Oh, it does. Huh. That's a problem. I can mute the game using this. But I don't know why I would do that. Maybe it's a system sound? Whatever. I'll keep it like that and maybe it'll work. I heard that one. I don't know what one you heard. We're back to this. Yeah, okay. David would have a lot of files and androids. I'll need to search smarter than that. Search files for Morgan. 23 results in the local drive. I can work with that. Mostly phone book and social data, but I don't recognize the file type. Some kind of personnel format? Date of birth, education, occupation, blood type, height, and weight. Okay, little invasive, don't you think? DNA and fingerprints. Now, why do you have that, David? My DNA isn't in any database. I've made sure of that. So he couldn't have bought this anyway. He must have collected himself for a wine glass alike. It'd been easy to do, but why do it? I heard a ping on the I did hear a noise, but not I heard that one, which is ironic. And it's also showing up on the system sounds, which is great. I don't like it when the thing pings at me. I don't want to hear the ping. How do I make it so that you do not ping me when chat does things? Screen reader auto announce? Turn that off. What game are we playing? We are playing of the Devil. It is very much like Danganronpa. Also, the game is not making any noises. Maybe if I go to the settings from here. How do I make you stop pinging? I don't want to hear pinging. Renoko, if you were here, tell me how to make OBS stop pinging me whenever stream chat says something. I've got the what for the where and the how. Oh, right, the game. This is Of the Devil. It is a Danganronpa-like. Also like Ace Attorney. I like to compare it to Danganronpa. Because I'm like that. We are a detective who is normal. Yeah. I'll just have to manage. It's still just a piece of machinery. If it really won't turn on, I can always start hitting it. Don't hit... Morgan, there you are. Looks at every registry I could find in every database I get into, but I don't think this Android is in the system. Fucking rip. It was a long shot. Don't beat yourself up over it. Yes, but Android without proper identification is... It's only buying or selling an Android without proper identification that's illegal. It doesn't seem like you ordered this online. I guess you're right, huh? We'll have it registered soon enough anyway. I think I figured out what we need to do here. Oh? If David really wanted me to have this, he would have left some way for me to turn it on. What are you thinking? David had my fingerprints and my DNA on file. I must French kiss the android. He's done a swab before, haven't you? Every month for the company. Apparently they're building a database on employee epigenetics cross-reference. Oh, so you're gonna... My DNA and my fingerprint make the key. Now where to find the lock? This is so stupid. I don't want to do that. No. I'm sure mine doesn't. I'm not sure mine doesn't do that. I'm not sure mine doesn't do that. So yours does it or does not do it. I can't mute this. Can I? Yeah, I can't do that because it will mute the game. My chat doesn't do a ping. Yeah. Is it a Twitch setting? No. Troubleshooting on the fly. Sound notification for chat messages. There we go. No answer. Lamau. How to set up chat notifications. That's a Streamlabs thing. That is such an annoying thing, because it didn't do that last time. Why is it doing it this time? Did you just Lamau? I probably did. Don't make fun of me. I am sensitive like that. Surprised that it's not a option. Meh. I'm your brother, that's my job. I know it is. But you can definitely hear the dings. Is it a Streamlabs thing? What if I close that? Get Lamauing Lamau boy. Nah. Well, I've closed Streamlabs. Let me see if that works. Hand, please. There was that diagram back in his shop. I don't... It was meant to be a literal handshake verification. Huh, I thought that would work. I was hoping it would work. Chest. Jason with a lot of surface area, the torso, the chest. I am not doing that. Yeah. Tongue kiss the android. Lips one of the most sensitive parts of the body. Not the worst place to make a scan, even if it's a gross place. My finger there. Oh, that's still not doing it, huh? Come on, do I really need to push my finger deeper? Jiggle the key. Oh man, you went right in there. Are you touching the tongue? It's blinking at me. The tongue? Holy shit. Come on. Gum-mommin'. Long beats. Good morning to you too. Cute. Hello, I've never seen you two before. I guess we should introduce ourselves then. Hi? This is Jessica Starling. She works for Dr. Asher. I'm Morgan, a friend of his. Got all that? I understand. She is Jessica Starling, and you are a Morgan last name unknown? No, Morgan is my last name. Father told me about you. Oh, he did? Wait, Father? David. You had it call you Daddy. I'm referring to Dr. David Asher. Are you confused? That's not the word I'd use. I'll throw a bone beyond the grave for the good doctor and move this along. Oh, that made the mic red out. Okay. Did David say that giving you to me? Did David say that he was giving you to me? Oh, transferring ownership. Ownership. That is correct. And what else did? Well, mostly correct. Right, and what else did he tell you? Many things. Can you specify? Well, the conversation was the first thing David figured out how to program. Did the doctor actually tell you anything that he wanted you to convey to Morgan? Message you were supposed to pass on? Yes. Jess, I think it's trying to... Oh, okay, sure. I'll give you two. Well, I'll give you some privacy, Morgan. I've actually gotten about 14 messages in the last 2 minutes. Give her some privacy, too. I'll just head back up to the lab to make some calls, okay? Thanks, Jess. Yes, thank you, Jess. You're welcome. There's the two of us now. So what do I call you? My name is Sarah. It's nice to meet you, Morgan. Trust me, the pleasure's all mine. So what's the message? Father told me to be living with you from now on, and he told me that you would look after me. Shouldn't it be the other way around? I will be living with you and you'll be taking care of me? Why? Should it? Model this lifelike with warmth and breath and something close to blood in his veins. Just what are you anyway? You forgot my name already? It's Sarah. What were you built for? You're warm, obviously. You're not one of those physical therapy models, are you? That would be highly illegal. I haven't completed 500 hours of study at a state-approved massage therapy school. I haven't completed 1 hour. What purpose did Dr. Asher design you for? I don't know the answer to that question. You don't know why he built you? No. Should I? How can you not? Do you? Would I be asking you if I did? I meant, do you know why you were created? To kill people. Why were you born? To kill people. Whisper. Why? Why me? Why would you? Why are you doing this? You're a freak. A monster. What the hell's wrong with you? Please don't kill me. Please. I was right. I was right. Why? Why was a monster like you even born? I guess I walked into that one. I was starting to wonder if you even had the Turing solution. Didn't we read this already? David Asher's postgraduate thesis on intelligent programming linguistic weighting. Body work which could be a Turing solution named for supposedly being the answer to all past, present, and future Turing tests. True to its name, David Asher's base code is yet to fail any Turing test. A test designed to determine if any answers come from a human or machine applied to a success rate below 99.7%. A number of think tanks, charities, and corporations hold bounties for designing the new Turing tests for the sole purpose of running them against David Asher's work. Although none have announced the warning of any prize money thus far. Oh yeah, but I guess since my brother's here, I may as well do a recap since there's more than one person. This is of the devil. Where's the profiles? We are Morgan. We are a defense attorney. We're also a criminal. That was the twist of Chapter 0. We kill people. We are a defense lawyer. We are not here on work. We are here because our friend, this twink, died. And his last will involved... where is she? It's not Masters. Starling? Yeah, involved her sending me that android. And also there's this lady who is my aunt. And also this guy who is a detective. There's also this teenager who I don't know the relationship, but I think Morgan takes care of her somehow. She is also a criminal. We love this. Father's framework for programming linguistics and artificial systems, and the body of work for which he first gained international. Yes, I just read the. Yes, an immediate international gel. Do you have an answer to my question? An answer to why you're created. Why do you exist? Why did David have the dead mom anime? Why did David have the dead anime mom haircut? I had to figure out how to get the ping to stop. Why did he have the dead mom haircut? Because he's dead. And I guess he is a mom. What else is there to understand? Occam's razor. I'm here because my parents wanted me. No, they didn't. That's a lie, and you know it. I see. Now I'll give a similar answer. I was created because father wanted to make me. Can't argue with that logic, can I? Can't argue with that logic. Father did say that you're a lawyer. Yeah, that's me. You're a lawyer and I defeated you with logic. World-class, high-power attorney, the best defense money can buy. So, do you catch criminals? Oh, I love that. That's a cute face. And that's what cops do. Do you litigate criminals? That's what prosecutors do. Then do you fight for the underrepresented? Expose injustice, sue corrupt corporations and officials? I don't think anyone does that anymore. Well, then what do you do? I'm a criminal defense attorney. A defender of the innocent and powerless. Uh-huh. Do you also... Now that you know all about me, what can you tell me about yourself? I never had to do that before. First time for everything. How old are you? I'm not sure I can give a satisfactory answer. 0 for 2 on answering simple questions. What's the date on your earliest memory? 2 years ago. You remember you constructed or assembled or whatever? What facility? I was not constructed at any facility. Father created me here. By himself. You're saying that if I took you apart, I wouldn't be able to find any markers from any manufacturers, any ideas of any designer. You want to take me apart? David was a programmer, not an engineer. How could he build a custom android from scratch in the comfort of his own home? He couldn't have. Must have had help, probably a whole department's worth. Background, there's got to be someone in the company who can ID this thing and help me figure out what's so important about it. You don't look like any android I've ever seen. What are you made of? This body is comprised of organic tissues integrated directly into cybernetic systems. They require organic nourishment, including water, carbohydrates, and salt. Wait, warm androids have to eat and drink? They cannot be worth that much trouble. My cybernetic systems operate largely as analogs to their equivalents in the human body. I have a respiratory system for oxygen exchange and a centrally located pump that circulates oxidants. I mean, you got a heart? How quaint. But where does all the extra weight come from? Pardon? I tried moving you earlier and I felt like I was pulling against a truck. My skeleton is a combination of medical-grade plastics and a military-grade titanium carbide alloy. And sure took the wind out of her sails. My muscles are made up of adaptive rare earth alloy nanoweave fiber with shock absorption and kinetic chain potential rated past. Wait, did you say military grade? I have a grip strength of above 1,000 kilograms. I can run at sustained speeds of 60 kilometers per hour. I can jump 6 meters vertically. I can lift approximately... I'm not sure what kind of grip strength most androids are walking around with, but I've never seen any of them move the way it's talking about. If you just stand there, it seems to be poised. Controlled, spring-tight, strength and flexibility like a ballerina or a gymnast. Strong enough to flip over a tank, lifelike enough to avoid detection. As long as it never stepped on a scale, it'd make for the perfect infiltration units. The perfect weapon if you could keep its development a secret. Did David really put something that heavy on my plate, dismantling a military prototype in secrets? Are you deep in thought? But a military infiltration android would look more crew-cut and forgettable, and would David really devote personal time and effort just to make another weapon for the military? I have other features I could tell you about if you like. If I shot you, would you die? It would be very painful. For you. There'd be a discharge of fluid, but conventional weapons would not prove particularly effective. The thing settles that this thing's weapon sure is would you like to know about my hair? Your hair? I'm impressed you noticed. Each fiber contains miniaturized solar cell lattice technology allowing me to remain charged throughout the daytime. That must come in handy. I haven't actually had the chance to use it yet. This room has ambient wireless charging functionality, and I haven't gone outside much. Okay, maybe it's not a weapon after all. You're just a pincushion, aren't you? I'm not familiar with the term. Searching. Pincushion, jargon, design, refers to prototypes filled with experimental technologies to check for compatibility issues. Got an idea, not sure what to do with it, stick it in a pincushion. It's a good explanation as any for what I'm staring at. A mishmash of state-of-the-art military features spiced with odd new technologies and seemingly pointless additions. The end result being a singular, unsellable android that wasn't particularly good at anything and would break down only after only a few years. Pincushions are a small but valid part of the field of android manufacturing. They are valuable to collectors who see them as time capsules filled with their designers' most outlandish ideas and least reproducible results. But even the most nonsensical pincushions are built via committee over years, with numerous engineers and programmers adding in their pet functions. The android before me claims to have been built by one man. A man who is now dead. Well, it seems we gotta have track here, Sarah. Was there anything else David told you to relay to me? Besides that you were to look after me? He also told me that you were reliable and that I should trust you. He said that I was to listen to you and obey your instructions. Finally, some good news. As you say, Adonai. Is that? That word you called me, what was that? Adonai, from classic Hebrew. Translated literally, it means my lord. Do you prefer I call you master? No. Very good, Adonai. Why David use Hebrew, though? Abrahamic myth tells of servants constructed out of earth and clay, designed to resemble and obey their masters. Golems. Father must have thought the comparison appropriate. Amusing, more likely, it's just a joke. Father would not make light of such a thing. Sure he would. Perhaps you should ask him to clarify his reasoning for himself. Where is Father, by the way? Is he upstairs? When was the last time you were active? 38 hours ago. Thursday night, then. Correct. Huh, right. David Asher is dead. I'm not going to break it to you lightly. I don't have a heart. I have a gun. He died last night. Understand? How? May I see him? See him? No, I won't be able to see him. Funeral's probably not for a few days. Father was not sick. I don't feel like doing the whole song and dance with 2 robots in one day. That's very charming. Let's go to commands only. What? What happened? Did he have an accident? Why is it still doing the theatrics? Does it not recognize my authority yet? The police have determined that he committed suicide. For the time being, we have to focus on getting you properly registered. Maybe then you'll take commands the first time I say them and not... The police are wrong. Well, yes, we know this. Excuse me? They are wrong. Father did not commit suicide. He would never do such a thing. Father he told me... Look, Sarah... I'm sorry? You're sorry? Father said you were his friend. How are you so calm? I've been around death a lot, so don't try to lecture me about grief, Spearmint. My name is Sarah. You'll use it because my father, Dr. David Asher, the greatest programmer in the world, gave it to me. And he did not kill himself. Let's say you're right. David didn't commit suicide. If that's the case, police will realize that soon enough. The police have already made their determination. That's what you just said. Father said that you were a lawyer, that you were capable and reliable, and a friend. That's such a pouty face. I love it. You should be looking into his death. That's... Is that an order? Of course not. It's a request, Adonai. A request that I'll have to refuse. The police have their job and I have mine. If I stick my nose in their investigation any further, they'll come down on me hard. Cops don't like lawyers on principle, but what they really hate are people who tell them how to do their job. Let's go. We need to... Father asked you to look after me. Yes, he did. He also said you should obey me, but you don't seem to be quite as fixated on that part. Have fun with your Philip K. Dick adventure. I'll try. Have fun with lunch. And he said something else. He said that you owed him a favor. One favor. The thin ice starts here, Spearmint. That was between him and me. Father is gone, so now it is between you and I. And I am calling in the favor now. But... You don't have to take care of me anymore. Consider that request null and void. You can sell me to some collector, you can donate me to university, it doesn't matter. In exchange, you will prove Father didn't kill himself. And you will make sure that whoever hurt him is held accountable. Oh, why are you laughing? It's you and me, not you and I. You and me. David would roll under his grave if he knew that you got that wrong. It was not my intention to amuse or rotate. No, that's for damn sure. Fine, I'll take that deal, Sarah. You mean you'll prove that Father did not... I mean, I'll look into it. I'm a lawyer. I don't prove anything. I just disprove what I can. Then where do we start? I didn't realize you had a law degree. I do not have a law degree, but I'm a fast learner. This isn't a job interview. And I am far from useless. I did raise at least one good question. Where do I start? I'm a defense attorney, not a police detective, and David was my friend, not my client. I won't be able to poke around at all unless... And I'm also capable of... Can you tell a lie? I am capable of making statements that are false? Guess I'll have to do. Are you going to ask me to lie? Yes. To the police, in fact. Lying to the police is a felony. Androids don't commit felonies, they make errors. I see. What kind of error did you have in mind, Adonai? Oh, this is great. This is great. Are you sure about this? You have questions too, don't you? Right now I'm just a little bit equipped to get answers than you are. Okay, go for it. I'll make sure they're watching. Is the air quality at Noble headquarters kept up to state standards? What's that? All these Noble employees seem to have asthma. Was Father also working under such poor conditions? They don't have asthma. Then why are they all carrying inhalers? Adroxone inhalers. First legalized in 2083, the stimulant sold under the name Adroxone has since become one of the most widely used drugs in the corporate world. It's a Class 2 stimulant of least concern. Okay, hang on a second here. Employees of any corporation good standing with Bureau of Narcotics Oversight can have access to Adroxone without prescription so long as their HR representative feels it would be beneficial to their work performance. Workplace Adroxone, as it is sometimes called, is dispensed through biomonitor-enhanced inhalers that automatically detect overdose and keep track of possible habit formation. Automatic safety levels may be adjusted at supervisor's discretion. Unsubstantiated claims that Adroxone was first invented by a purely recreational drug by the notoriously violent Skullhead Mafia caused enough of a stir that in 2083 a formal investigative committee was formed. Unfortunately, in 2084, an industrial hydrogen fuel accident resulted in the deaths of all 391 known Skullhead members, placing the investigation at an indefinite standstill. Okay. Yes, ma'am, she's right over here. Oh my god, you're here. Oh, it's you. Oh, it's you. It's both of you. Did I mess up? On the contrary, Nice white, she's a DA. Meg. Quiet. She succeeded spectacularly in getting Noble's ears perked up. Emma Rockford. Do I get to look at her? Yes, I do. She is the, what's his name? The red guy in Ace Attorney. Occupation, Assistant District Attorney. I think that's different from last time. Likes milk tea, white noise, black lace. Dislikes artificial sweeteners, home remedies, ink stains. Reads true crime, bodice rippers. Best at getting the staff's attention, worst at deciding what to order. Demon in the courtroom, apparently. Didn't think I'd run into you here. Yeah, I didn't think I'd be here either, but the powers that be think my presence sends a strong message to the Megs, so... no, wait, what are you doing here? I see. Sorry for your loss. Thank you for saying that. And thank you, Detective Reyes, for your many kind words. She said nothing. Homicide detective 3rd class. Likes chewing gum, sports drinks, biking. Dislikes babysitting, audiobooks, man-spreading. Relaxed when shopping for groceries. Struggles with remembering liquids. Default status, do not disturb. We can't all be as talkative as you. Normally quoting poetry will feel pretentious, but you were so genuine in your reading. Bite me. Okay, that's cute. I don't know there's a need for all that. Very mature detective. Did you come up with that yourself? Oh no, that's Kaguya's signature pose. Like, the pop star? I don't know what you're talking about. You 100% do. You can admit it if you do. Well, there's nothing to admit because I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know who that is. You knew who the things were in the last one. Wait, now you're saying you don't know who Kaguya is? She's the most famous... Known for a powerful voice and her stage persona's intricately crafted lore. Oh god, she's a VTuber. After releasing a blitz of chart-topping singles like Quadruple Platinum Avalon and a bevy of cultural reset music, in the last 3 years she has come to be considered the leading living fiction of blah 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 blah. Official age is listed as 1,086 years old. She would be born in 1003? No, that would be 997. Okay. At least first single Orbit in 28.3, which I'm going to peak at number 1 on the Blabboard Top 100, the Rubicon Digital Singles Chart, and the Night 8 music video streaming tracker, making one of the fastest selling singles in history. Personal details of popular MSCS and protecting her anonymity has become a core part of her fan culture. When a retired facial analysis expert claims her stage makeup was formulated specifically to make facial recognition impossible. A representative for her record company met with the press to clarify that she is simply a private person who wants her fans to enjoy the experiment that is Kaguya's voice. Also search for Kaguya Lore Explained, Kaguya Iceberg Explained, Kaguya Luna Tripic Tour Tickets, where to buy. Yeah, well, I just don't know who that is, so... Ma'am. Weren't you about to say something? Oh, well, I'm still surprised to see you here now, Morgan. Helping plan the services? Actually, the company will be planning Dr. Asher's funeral service. When his family want to take care of that? No. No? No. I see. Sorry. But if that's the case, why are you here, Morgan? Ha! Oh gosh, I'm so sorry to disrupt your morning. Hey, you're here for the same reason every other suit they got cloning around. Money. You're not wrong, there are a lot of annoying insects with annoying agendas scurrying around before my friend's body's even cold. But the honest truth here is I don't even know if David had a will. The company helped him manage the estate. Legal is probably already on it. Actually, judging by how much of coffee that intern is carrying to the elevator, I'm certain they are. Right, so if you're not here for the funeral or reading of the will... Miss Starling asked me to come here, actually, to a matter unrelated to David's passing. An unrelated matter. That's convenience, isn't it? But now that I am here, it's come to my attention the police have made a determination in the case of David's death. And where did you hear that? Am I mistaken? No, you're right. They concluded it was suicide. Can always count on her to be blunt. I was worried about that. Yeah, I'm sure you must be feeling... Because I'm going to have to contest that charge. The state has made a charge. I'm arguing against it. The hell are you talking about? The police believe David committed suicide. Suicide is a felony in this country, detective. It is technically a crime to commit suicide, yes, but we're not in the habit of bringing dead men to trial. Especially not for their own murder, Morgan. No, not to trial, of course not, but there would be a preliminary hearing in a case like this. Preliminary hearing is to have the jury live out there is sufficient evidence to justify a trial, a grand jury. Between security systems, personal devices, biomonitors, IoT crumbs, automated dependents, and mods, it's extremely rare in modern times for the people's evidence of a crime to be found lacking, making preliminary hearing somewhat of a formality that is frequently sidestepped without protest from the defense. Technically, as a formality. Assuming the courts aren't busy that day. I'm afraid on this vision I'm going to have to insist on formality. Yeah, well, you really don't have much say in the matter, do you? With David gone, I have the only say, really. I am, after all, his criminal attorney. All that money, and he needs his drinking buddy to be his attorney. Bullshit. I'm also skeptical, Morgan. It's a pretty serious conflict of interest to be your friend's defense attorney. You're absolutely right, it is a conflict of interest, and I would have said as much to him if I had the chance. What do you mean? I found out they want to be his attorney today. After he died, how did you miss that memo? Embarrassing, isn't it? But to be fair, it was hidden pretty well. Oh, I didn't know you had an Android, Morgan. It's cute. Aww. Thanks, but it's actually David's, and it's technically my witness. Witness to what? 38 hours ago, that is, David Asher communicated to me as a matter of record the following explicit legal intent. In the case of any all criminal charges brought against him by any state, his attorney would be Evangeline Morgan. Pfft. Evangeline? Pa Muse. No, wait, seriously, your name's Evangeline? Did your parents name you after a Christmas carol? Should we all be curtsying? It's not that funny. No, of course, nothing to be embarrassed about, Evangeline. Or do your friends call you Angel? I hear Kaguya's on your tour, detective. Should I get you tickets? You can have your dad drive you like all the other 15-year-olds. Hey. Feels like we're getting off topic. What were we just? I was telling you that David Asher wanted to be his criminal defense attorney. Imagine my surprise. No, just recording of a verbal expression of intent isn't exactly ironclad, Morgan. That's fair. If you're going before an upper-level court, I would expect that to be open to all kinds of scrutiny. But we're talking about a preliminary hearing. A formality, as you called it. If he asks for representation, he deserves representation. Doesn't matter whether he's dead or alive. Am I missing something? What difference does it make? I have an adjutant would be obtuse enough to sentence a dead man. No, there wouldn't be a sentence, but the adjutant will render a verdict. And verdicts have consequences even for the deceased. Oh, is that what this is about? What's she getting at? If the court agrees this was suicide, that verdicts retroactively affect evaluations of the individual's mental health. Like whether he was in his right mind or not. You know anything about estate tax law, detective? No. But I'm sure they'll be happy to educate me. More than happy. An individual found by a court to not be of sound mind can't very well give their consent to the lawyer drawing up their will. If his will is compromised, all of it is considerable as to be suddenly thrown into legal limbo. In which case, the state would be legally obligated to come in and pick up the pieces. So this is just about his money. I'm almost disappointed in you, Morgan. Well, when you take into consideration that all the factors are actually more complicated than that, for example... Never mind. No, Starling, you should speak your mind. All I meant to say is that while Dr. Asher did have significant holdings in art, real estate, and intellectual property, he also, of course, owned a great deal of stock in numerous corporations, principally Noble. He was ruled not to be of sound mind, and his shares were to end up acquired by the government. Noble would suffer a serious blow to its commercial image and its standing in the financial community. All which to say there's a great deal at stake here. Not the least of which is the reputation of a man whom I was proud to call my friend. You're not buying this, are you? In case you haven't noticed, the city is working closely with Noble on this, and they're not going to let you bring them any unwanted attention. Starling did her part. They're watching, and they've stopped trying to hide it. From here on out, it's a gamble. Noble Electronics already has unwanted attention. Why are you raising your voice? If nothing changes by the end of the day, the whole country is going to hear how David Asher committed suicide. By midnight, there will be questions about his competency, concerns about why the brain inside every single Noble ad was built by an apparently unstable man. The shareholders will have nothing to do all Sunday but brood over the sad thought and all its disturbing implications. By the time the markets reopen on Monday, I would expect a great deal of volatility. That's so. I understand Noble's apprehension, of course, Emma. I just feel like right now the fiscally conservative thing would be to do not get in my way. So you got your reasons, and Noble's got a lot to think about. But why should the district attorney's office devote valuable time to paying out this game of yours? Because they're certain they'll win. Oh, that goes without saying. The court should have an opening at 6 p.m. I didn't have anything planned. Then it's a date. Detective, would you get her clearance set up? Yes, ma'am. Updates every hour, yeah? You're out on a limb, Morgan. Better not linger. Here. Clearance for all the relevant sites and police firewalls. You can interview and investigate with your authorities and officer of the court now, if you haven't already been doing that. Don't even think about being sloppy with discovery on this. Rockford might think you're funny, but I appreciate the warning, Detective Reyes. It's nice to know you care. I live to serve. And protect. Thanks for the assist, Starling. Yeah, no sweat. Are all cops like that, or are they more like that Detective London gentleman? Most are like her. They're mostly like that, yes. They're all that intense? Yes, it comes from being shorts. And most cops are shorts? Yes. Right. I'll see you at the courthouse. If you need anything in the meantime, don't be afraid to ask. Good luck, both of you. What do we do now? Well, I have a few options. I have access to the crime scene now, probably the best place to start. I'd like to head over to the company building as well, to get me registered, amongst other things. Either David killed himself or he didn't, but if he did, it's almost certainly his asshole corporate overlords who are to blame. In which case I want to take my sweet time raking them over the coals. What are you doing? Nothing. About Father, when can we see him? He'll be at the morgue by now. Medical examiner will speak to me now that I'm operating under the court's authority, but if I stop to flash paperwork at every nurse and security guard with nothing better to do than ask questions, I'll have to... What else I look for? Your father's friend. Thank you again for reminding me. Aren't there people you'd like to speak with? Other friends who'd want to know? Bad news travels fast. I'm sure everyone in the country's already heard about David by this point. But all that heartbreak shit did keep me preoccupied these last few weeks, and I was never one to pry. If there was someone who could tell me more about David's personal life over the last several months, it'd be worth the effort of finding them. Do you have someone in mind? Maybe someone he met recently? He spoke about coming close with someone this year, a musician. Now that you mention it, there was a PO post, something that David might have mentioned when he talked back in... I'll begin a search. I've completed my search. I found nothing. I found nothing. Thanks to the old college try. Is that really the best you can do? Father was a private man in person and online, with just a few letters on the fact that he was a musician. I'm afraid we don't have enough information to ignore down the results at, and we have plenty of information. We just need the right person for the job. What kind of person is that? A teenager? Time date expunged. Precinct 112. Detainment room 1. And who would you even have called? Oh my god, it is. I don't know. I still should have got my phone call. Said I got you. Who are you again? This garden and my new foster parents. Want me to call you mommy? I'm not really the motherly type. Hey, yo, we might actually get along. So I've got some good news and bad news. I'm not your guardian, I'm your lawyer. You've been given a lawyer because you're being charged with a felony. Fascist pig. Skipping school's a felony now. Hacking into a government database has been a felony for a very long time. That wasn't me. They have your keystrokes, your IP address, your login times, and the playlist you were listening to. That was for homework assignments. Here's what I don't get in. You got in, copied the data, could have gotten right out. Say wouldn't even know they've been robbed until they saw the password show up on black market clearance 2 weeks later. But you didn't get out, you stayed and made changes to their database. You robbed the bank, got clean money, then dragged a can of spray paint behind you all the way home. Why? Look, I didn't steal anything. That wasn't already compromised. And the only data I edited was my own. So if anything, they should be thanking me for correcting their mistakes. What, did they get your birthday wrong? My name. Name changes are only 2 pages of paperwork. You just need to fill out the form. And get a signature from a parent or guardian. So, what's the good news then? The good news is that I'm your lawyer, not your guardian. Oh, the hell, that doesn't count as good news. That's just a thing you said. Don't be so sure. A lawyer's a lot better than a guardian. How's that? Parents, guardians, fathers, whatever, they're all supposed to take care of you because it's the right thing to do. A lawyer's someone who always does what's best for you no matter what because it's how they get paid. So how good are you at your job? Hello, mon coeur. It's pronounced cur. I don't know how to pronounce that. I know how it's pronounced. Cur. Mon coeur. An archaic term for a dog, an abandoned mutter's stray. And don't call me that. When I met Fran at that police station, I couldn't help but bet that I'd landed the jackpot. A valuable asset with a skill set complementary to my own personal and private pursuits. Someone who, after seeing the sweetheart probation deal I managed to land for them, would be more than happy to help me with whatever I need whenever I need it. Always so cold, Fran. Can't even get a good morning. Students, hacker, but don't put that down, obviously. Likes haptics, synth music, cinnamon toast. Dislikes teachers, politicians, adults, cops, alarm clocks. Values rarity, originality, history, vibes. No favorite subject. Worst subjects, literature, social studies, athletics. No such thing. Nothing good ever happened until the afternoon when people are actually awake. What I got instead was a compulsive liar with a horrific sleep schedule and a crippling addiction to poor time management. What do you want, Red? Can't call you up just for fun? Not if you don't want to get blocked. I need you to find somebody for me. Can't do it. I've got homework. You both know the only time you ever do your own homework is cutting class when it's due. And I got sports. You can't tell a basketball from a hockey stick. And I've got a bidding war to win. You're the only person on Earth bidding on 70-year-olds at Gucci and Air Jordan vintage reps, Fran. I think you take your eyes off the auction block. So sorry, but I'm busy, so... I was hoping we could get the carrot straight to the carrot portion of the routine, but if you insist on doing things from the top... I had an interesting conversation with the parole officer yesterday. Oh yeah. They've been really into the self prefixes lately. Self-motivation, self-actualization, self-help. Oh? And he thinks you could really benefit from it. You're lying. He got all the workbooks ready. Clearly your Saturdays are stacked, so make sure your Sundays are full of... Fine, I get it. You should find a local musician. Musician? No, this will be Electro Swing or some other awful. Last name Powell or Parker. That's all you got? They'll be in David Asher's circles. Wait, Asher? You're working that? That should be more than enough for a clever kid like yourself to go on. Don't go expecting any miracles. I need this soon, within the hour ideally. But then you know I have other clients, don't you? Other clients who actually pay you on time? A musician. Find him. Okay. You've been talking over the phone. You're pretty animated, Adonai. What do you mean? I say very expressive when you talk to people. Of course I'm expressive. If I wasn't, how would anybody know what I'm thinking? I see. I'll keep that in mind as... Wait, you really expect to tag along? Of course. Father was... Yeah, I know you want to. But why should I let you? Because I am capable and helpful. I mean, I can take notes for you. And move heavy objects. And I'll learn to do more. How? I will subject every individual encounter to a basic survey. To procure biographical information on them while I gain experience in questioning. Subjecting them to torture. I can help, Adonai. How fast can you fill out forms? Fast. Congratulations, you're halfway to being a paralegal. Unemployed paralegal, question mark. Okay, that chewing can definitely be heard on the mic. My apologies, I have pretzels. Martial arts, carbonation, collarbones. Likes collarbones? Dislikes static, blackouts, elevators. Blood type UAD. Talents, I'm good at lots of things. Skills, I'm not sure how skills differ from talents. You coming? Right away, Adonai. Yay. Such a good character. All right, crime scene. Pretty quiet elevators, huh? You could have taken the next one. Its busy building detective can't hold up everyone else on our accounts. Oh, it's Ray's. Anything you'd like to grumble at me before I start? Don't touch anything. I don't care that you're wearing gloves. I have been to crime scenes before, you know. Long before the police get there in many cases. Lamau. Look, Rockford asked me not to get in your way, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna bend over for you. Do you at least have the autopsy report? No. Are you seriously? I don't. She doesn't? The report should have come in hours ago. Let's take this long unless cause of death was still... Myself for a summary of the preliminary findings. Emergency call was made shortly after 8 p.m. last night via the home security system. Emergency medical service had a VTOL in the air within the minute. Landing on the penthouse's helipad at 8:08. Dr. Fasher was found unconscious with low blood pressure and a weak heartbeat. He wasn't breathing. In-flight audio triage administered artificial CPR while it transit to Gate Field Memorial. He was declared dead a few minutes after being taken to the emergency wing. I see. The cause of death is being investigated. Make an educated guess. He stopped breathing, so they gave him oxygen. His heart stopped pumping, so they had the machines take over. His brain activity dropped to 0, and there wasn't anything else they could do. It was poison, wasn't it? What kind? You don't know, do you? They don't know either. Well, like I said, man, we don't have the autopsy report yet. Why are you certain it was poison, Adonai? Couldn't it have been an accidental overdose? If he had overdosed on a commercial drug, even a pre-med student would have spotted on the hospital's intake screening. They would have been able to pump his stomach, neutralize his bloodstream, and he would have lived. But he didn't live. This must have been something deadly, a compound designed solely to kill. A fast-acting, deadly poison that caused respiratory failure. The list can't be that long. Even just through process elimination, the medical examiner should have identified it by now, unless... You suspect a designer drug, don't you, detective? Why is it you're only quick on the uptake when it suits you? Because I am the main character of this. Nothing else makes sense, given what we know and what we don't. But the CDCA decriminalized and categorized all recreational drugs. Good fucking luck with that. Oh yeah, we're gonna categorize legalize. We're gonna categorize all drugs, all of them. Yeah, all of them. There's no drugs that we won't be able to find. We know where all of them are. We know what all of them are. There's no unknowns. No weird Russian people in Russia making Russian drugs. The series allows us to pass to 26 is that decriminalized all narcotics and established the Bureau of Narcotics Oversight to administrate the production, licensing, distribution, and taxation of drugs cross-country. Okay, I'm opening a soda. I lied, it was an energy drink. Okay, so, decriminalization of all narcotics. That's interesting. Overrun by civil unrest and eager to replenish government coffers, the CDCA were intended to reduce the backlog of criminal cases across the while and provide much-needed tax income, while incentivizing immigration with the promise of amnesty. What was considered a domino effect, other major nations around the globe passed comparable laws to build up their own depleted war chests and revitalize their local economies. The so-called white wave of global amnesty overturned the international drug trafficking market in just a few short years. The gray wave followed soon after as money-starved criminal organizations waged economic and literal war against multinational corporations for dominance of this new gray market. Fierce competition for government license to produce classic narcotics emerged alongside a race to develop new, more powerful designer drugs and to monopolize their sale in the moments left it would take the government to identify and legalize them. While rates of addiction and overdose deaths have dropped since their peaks in the last 2 decades, I would not say that would happen. The dangers associated with untested designer drugs and drug distributors' eagerness to earn new customers that included duty to field debate over the legacy of the CDA and what white wave as a whole. Okay. Legalization of all narcotics. The classification of all narcotics. As a person who works in pharmacy, I don't think it would work out like this. Not quite how this would go. If this were how it would have gone, the opioid crisis wouldn't be as much of a thing as it is because oxycodone is legal. And that is what the opioid crisis is about, is the production and prescription of oxycodone. Doctors overprescribing the drug, being incentivized to overprescribe the drug, is what leads to the addiction crisis, and then the rebound from that is what drags people into heroin and fentanyl, which is also legal, sort of. It's just more, I guess it's more tightly controlled than oxycodone was. This would be a very interesting scenario that I should not dwell on because this is a video game. In case you aren't exactly entirely clueless about politics. So whatever father overdosed on should have been in the hospital's database. You need to update your definitions. You're confusing designer drugs with recreational drugs. In a literal sense, designer denotes any drug that is custom-made as opposed to mass-produced, typically outside normal pharmaceutical industry standards. Correct. Pharma's parlance, however, designer drugs, DDs, deeds, DEDs, are illicit narcotics formulated to produce a recreational high. While the CDC and the white wave that followed it legalized or taxed virtually all known narcotics, it did so alongside extensive documentation and study, and those laws can only apply to drugs that already existed. A drug patented after the white wave must go through approval processes and registration with the national and international authorities. It's a time-consuming process that can take anywhere from 6 months to several years. Yeah. The timeline creates a window of opportunity where organized criminal groups can step in to meet the demand for a narcotic, and was known because of the riding the wave as a new normal for the international drug trade, pitting mob chemists against corporate laboratories in a race to develop newer, more powerful, more easily habit-forming drugs. According the market on them before legislation catches up to them. Is Nerve legal yet? Best New Des 2088. Nirvana designed by who? Who was the lead singer of Nirvana? I forgot his name. Oh well. What is the difference? Recreational drugs are decriminalized and sold through pharmacies after years of testing and mountains of paperwork, while the average designer drug was invented last week in a 19-year-old Lions cook's bathroom on the other side of the globe, in Russia. Hospitals can't know the proper countermeasures for an overdose of a drug that didn't exist 48 hours ago. Came across makeshift labs all the time when I was in uniform. Are you not a uniform? Do you not count as uniform? The equipment is cheap and widely available. Black market cooks, gray market peddlers, and white-collar lobbyists all chasing the next other heels one long line to find the next big hit. I mean, it's... Hang on, they say affordable? Cheap and widely available. I mean, glassware, yeah, if you're making a drug using, like, old-timey distillery. I don't know if I would call it widely available now. It'd be... I mean... I know too much. CDC didn't change shit. More people died from ODs than ever before. Thank you. This is what I would expect. Only difference is their families finding them in the living room and not beat up cops finding them in the street corners. That's what I would expect. Real comforting, I'm sure. If it wasn't you talking, I'd say that was a criticism of law enforcement. Not law enforcement, just a law. Assuming it's a designer's drug, that would certainly make things more complicated. I like Ray's. Ray's is good. For the insurance guys, maybe. For us, whatever he used to do it, has still killed himself. Or it didn't kill himself, if you insist. Let me take a look around now. Yeah, sure, make yourself at home. What's that face for? Thought there'd be an outline. An outline? Around where they found Father. She thought they'd have him taped off. Like in the movies? Like in film. Connect to the police network and bring up their ARCS file. Augmented reality crime scene, I see. Yes. Why is that Z not bolded? There is an outline. And so this is where he died at the hospital. This is just where the medics found him. And it's the sensors and cameras that they were wearing that created the basis for the ARCs. They didn't realize they were walking into a crime scene, but their body cams gathered all the same. Where do we start? You can start by following behind me and trying to be as quiet as possible. Starting to get a feel for when she's pouting even without looking. Okay, there's a few things. I don't know why I can look up there. That doesn't seem important. Which means it's very important. Oh, that's out there too. Let's do the obvious. So say that the medics arrived, he was on the floor face up. Does that tell you something? Hey, if you were going to drink a glass of poison, would you be sitting or standing when you did it? I find it difficult to speculate on that hypothetical scenario. The seat by his body is pulled out. If he was seated when he lost consciousness, I would expect to find him slumped over on the table. But he wasn't found slumped over. No, he wasn't. And if he had been standing when he lost consciousness, I would think he would have fallen forward, or at least collapsed less neatly. So can you conclude for that, Adonai? With that, I'm missing something. Better take a closer look. Oh, for the love of... So much stuff. What was he drinking? Rose River Whiskey, 12 years old. You recognize it? Sure, he was more than partial to the brand. It's a good brand, only a bit overpriced, which is the bargain of a lifetime in David's world. Appears that the police have already tested its contents. No foreign matter present was their conclusion. Is it possible that police missed the poison? No, even if they can't identify the poison, they can detect its presence by comparing samples of the whiskey to a bottle off the short still. Off the store shelf. I'm sorry, was whiskey a term? Oh, whiskey's in evidence. Forensic analysis showed no foreign elements or toxins known to be a brand favored by the deceased. Cool. We can eliminate the possibility that the bottle of whiskey was poisoned. We'll find a smoking gun elsewhere. Password locked, but all cracked by the police, it seems. All the dogs were take-home safe, nothing spicy. When was it last used? 7:48 p.m. Still reading work emails only a few minutes before he committed suicide. Morbid, but not something you would do if you were committing suicide. A lot of messages mark priority that breadcrumb their way back to an article. Oh, hey, it's this one. It is not the same. Warm android blood saved soldier's life. In a stunning and heroic episode, one of our nation's brave soldiers had life saved by a noble android in a way that no other competitor's product could. That's an ad. A brave private name withheld was wounded during a military operation whose exact nature and location is currently classified. The equator, for rare earth metals. Bleeding badly and far from the nearest triage station, he was carried to safety by his fellow freedom fighter, an animate 16 Enforcer. One of the few warm androids being currently tested by the armed forces. The android didn't just sit there and wait for evac, and opened up his own arteries and pumped life-saving universal donor synthetic plasma into the young man's veins, stabilizing him long enough to be ready to get reached a military hospital. And no doubt if he died, if there'd be any other android fighting alongside of one commanding officer who asked not to be named. I thought the Noble was only good at making ads that look good. Now I know they got something that kills to know to compete with. I mean, yeah. The story brings a well-deserved shot in the arm to Noble's stock prices and market share. With this one heroic moment, Noble's warm androids have proven themselves to be worth their price tag, and then some. And people in the capital are paying attention. Certainly an interesting idea, Senator Mathing said when asking about committing to a military contract for Noble to provide them armed forces with more models. They'd be expensive. I mean, not like anything in the military isn't expensive, but like, it's expensive. People are cheap. It's like, yeah, you'd have to check for blood type, but is that worth the cost of just staffing your military with androids? The story's got people talking. If we ignore our constituents' feelings on this matter, we'd be neglecting our duty as politicians. I know none of my peers would ever try to put a price on the life of one of our soldiers. None of these words are true. All of these words are false. While additional details about the incident have remained closely guarded, the Nez is always talking, oh damn, you're not logged into this device, blah 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 blah. Why would Noble have it marked as priority? Certainly said they were in any rush to pat each other back over it. Even though they won themselves a real prize. They were not. They were not in any rush. Easy PR. One of their ads saved a soldier's life, except they weren't really struggling with popularity to begin with. Oh, fuck. Got it wrong. Sad. Spilled alcohol. Arc shows that it was looked outside before it evaporated. No foreign substance in the puddle. It's clean. So does that mean wherever the spill came from must be clean as well? Huh. Inconclusive results. I'm sorry, do I get to check the cup again? 2 cups, 1 empty knocked over and 1 mostly empty. These look cheap. Did his guest bring them? I've seen them before in the basement liquor cabinet. He kept these laying around? I knew he regifted those crystal glasses I got him. Ark says nothing foreign in the upright one, so he can't have been poisoned. There's also inconclusive in the other cup, however. Looks bone dry. Must have been nothing but fumes left by the time that he was considered a crime scene. Just not enough for them to test. Inconclusive could mean... Inconclusive means inconclusive. That is all. Shut up and read me the results of the fingerprinting. Father's prints are on both cups as expected, but there are someone else's on the upright cup. Someone else must have been with him last night. Slow down. All that proves is that someone else touched the cup. It doesn't tell us when they did it. Since we don't know who the prints belong to... Ed and I, why don't we know who the prints belong to? Are the prints flagged as unidentified, or... No, there's space for a name, but the field is black. Shit, am I already that late to the action? Detective Rays. Yeah. The second set of prints on the cups. Is there a form you'd like me to sign? Doesn't matter how nice you ask, sometimes people just can't answer. You should know that damn well, Madam Counselor. I was afraid you'd say that. I don't understand, Adonai. What does this mean? It means that whomever these prints belong to has a very proactive representation. Those prints belong to a witness, as you've guessed. You're more than welcome to their testimony. But their identity is... The department being very considerate of witness privacy. I respect for their time and appreciation for their cooperation. Fine, forget the name. That easily? Subpoenas are always an option, but I'm short on time. Legal order issued by the state on the behalf of the prosecution and defense that propels the addressed party to give testimony, provide information, turn over evidence, failure to result, blah, 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 blah. Tempt of court, Lamau. Get that off my phone. What do the witnesses have to say for themselves, detective? To paraphrase, they came to see Dr. Asher last night. The 2 of them talked, they had a drink together. The doctor got sick, so they activated the emergency system for the pain in the kitchen. The EMTs came, took them both to the hospital. Asher's condition got worse. All the witness vitals were normal. When he said their vitals taken, then there should be a record of their admission at Gazefield. And that's it. I'm guessing you didn't just take all that on faith. Pen number set up in most of the rooms on this floor. Everything the witness told us was corroborated by the building's own surveillance system. So, yes, we can guarantee the witness never put anything into Asher's drink. Because now I can't have keys to the penumbra, can I? Not until the witness's lawyers are done reviewing it. Lawyers? Plural? I don't have time to trade jobs at the law offices. Johnson, 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 & Johnson. Say, how about I give you the business card? The law offices are Cochler, Gustav, Prince, and Prince. I was close. Don't be getting any client information out of them directly. If all you bloodsuckers want to get together and tear each other apart, text me before you start. I'd like to watch. I'm sure you would. Yeah, I bet you like to watch. Yay! What does that even mean? I don't know. I needed a moment to think. Oh, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means at all. One chat, one pick of the cams, and you've already eliminated him as a suspect. Look, they were searched. They didn't have any poison, any drugs, not even a stick of gum. Even if they somehow did have poison, and the extra footage confirms they had no opportunity to use it. They drank from the same bottle as a dead man, and as far as our department is concerned, they were nearly the second victim. But they aren't dead or even ill from the sound of things, so you think he poisoned his own cup beforehand, then poured the cup for both of them from the same bottle. That's what the evidence is telling us. There's nothing in the bottle or the witness's cup. Hang on. Plastic cup of small items we left found by bread on the table, saliva and fingerprints match an unknown individual. Contains no trace of fuller elements. Friends analysis shows matched from fingerprints lab, but toxicology says conclusive too much of the whiskey drunk and or evaporated. Okay. And Asher died with a foreign substance in his body. An unidentified foreign substance. Suicide by poison. I get that you were close, simple explanations aren't all that satisfying, but that's life. One last thing. You just said he prepared his cup himself. Did you see that on camera? He left the party to get his drinks and came back when he was already poured. When he says he got them from the basement. The witness says that, not the cameras? There's no cams in the lab or the basement. That seems like a security hazard. Why would Noble not set things up more carefully? It's intentional. If Cam's lab ever got hacked, outsiders would steal his IP and kick Noble's monopoly out to the curb. Right, David did complain about Noble's weird protocols for combating corporate espionage. You can stay confident knowing that Father wasn't alone when he died. Yeah, that's worth investigating. When he arrived at 7:30 p.m., spoke with David, retrieved liquor from the basement at 7:36, 38, lethargic and disoriented after 8. Lost consciousness at 8:03, 8:04, 8:08. I'm sad. I'm angry that I didn't get that right. Blah. Check. Chessboard and a database with a series of characters. E4, C5, and F3, E6, D4, CX4, and XD4. That is a game. Algebraic notation. Was he studying an old game or playing against himself? Black has checkmate in 40 moves. Wow, a robot that's good as chess. You have to put you in a museum. But I'll take your word for it. What do you mean? Do you not play Adonai? No, especially not against David. Well, that is to be expected. Anyone who challenges Father to a battle of wits would naturally grow tired of losing. Every game starts the same. Each player has the same piece of the same moves, same options. It's a true test of wit, strategy, and forethought. To me, it's always seemed too boring, too fair. The smarter player wins every time. And that is something you take fault with? Of course. How's a gal like me supposed to win a game like that? Okay, I got one right. We will take these. Okay, this one's smaller, so I want to inspect it more. One chair knocked over, probably where David was sitting, and one chair pulled out, a party of 2. Never cared much of socializing, but he enjoyed hosting. A contradictory guy. I always admired this view. The buildings gleam with reflections of holograms of sunlight, and their shadows obscure all the rundown, rotting parts of town. Maybe the view is secondary. Maybe all anyone really wants to put as much distance between them and the street level as possible. It's possible that a witness could have seen something through these windows. Not through these windows, no. David installed a wide spectrum of audio tints in all his homes, all his cars. I didn't know that. You wouldn't notice unless you were viewing the penthouse for more than... Why do you care so much about his windows? You know why. Observe. Police androids monitoring the scene. Can almost mistake them for the real thing, the way they stand there trying to look important. Like an indoor dog taking its first trip to the park. Pardon? Why are you looking at like you've never seen an android before? Because I haven't, in person. David didn't even let you have a mirror? Brutal. Just scan its GIN if you're that curious. Unless it's considered too forward or whatever. Seems like everything critical on this side of the room, which leaves the kitchen. You said there's camera footage of the dining room showing David and his guest. What about in here? The only camera in the kitchen, the one mounted on the call terminal. Console took a snap image when the witness ran in to contact emergency services. May I see it? Not unless you scrape the witness's face off the pic first. Don't tempt me. There was something over here. The pots and pans? The door? Oh, that's just telling me I have to look. Alright. David's fridge. Normally I wouldn't go poking in the pantry to crime scene, but this was a poisoning. I thought that was a door outside. Some white wines chilling in the drawers, some real cheap liquor stuffed in the icebox. Old habits. Rays, you said he left the parlor and came back with that whiskey from the basement. Yeah, it's a cam show, yeah. There's plenty to drink right here, and unlike the cabinet downstairs, it's actually cold. He must have wanted Rose River in particular. What's that look for? You hungry? I'm an android. I do not get hungry. Are you being sarcastic? You said you had to eat. I thought you said you required organic nourishment. I do ingest organic substance, but that doesn't mean I experience hunger as you do. So when you don't ingest organic substances for a long time, do you... I become tired. What a great feature. And I'm done digesting, I don't need to know. Well, you don't want to hear about how she uses the bathroom? Rude. 3 unwashed dishes and a single glass. Rays, these dishes haven't been scanned for prints yet. And I just assumed you might want to do your job. Yeah, they're prints. Most match the victim, but there's also... Huh. Hey, don't smack me up sneak up on me like that. All I did was walk over to you. You knocked over the salt ad and I... Let's focus on the task at hand. I knew that tunnel vision was the selling point of your mod. Adonai the salt. As I was saying, the witnesses' prints are on that glass. That glass in the sink. They were drinking from cups in the parlor. You see a glass on camera? No. So when did they touch this glass? Interesting. Adonai, the salt. You need to toss it over your shoulder. I knew she was going to do this. Witness must have thought about giving the guy some water, but he would have choked on it if they had tricked. I'm sorry, what? Witness must have thought about giving the guy some water, but he would have just choked on it if they had tried. Why, you think this glass is the murder weapon? It's bad luck, Adonai. Whacked on the backs of the head so fast it went between video frames? That's genius. You should go through the footage frame by frame to prove your theory. This is cute. Mature. It's bad luck. What have you been going on about the salt? Shouldn't a machine be above petty superstition? It's not a superstition. It is an ancient wisdom. She is a golem. She actually cares about the superstition. Give me one logical reason to care. If too much salt spills into your food, it'll make you gag. Maybe it's not me for saying the bar too low there. A salt shaker that was accidentally knocked over during the investigation. The cup was loose and still salt spilled over the contact next to the sink. Spilled salt. Why is this in the evidence? I don't like that. I don't like that. Are we doing what's the movie called? Not Psycho. Large Family Psycho. We're doing some Large Family Psycho shit. Yeah, we are. I know we are. Messy workplaces, but a pristine kitchen. David was a good cook, but only for others. Unless he had a guess, he'd happily eat instant ramen and protein bars for 3 meals, or 2 or 1. No signs of food prep to be found, so much as a cheese board. So whoever this guest was, he must have shown up unannounced. This way the emergency call was made. What time did the call go out? 8:04 p.m. Before you asked, the witness left the parlor at 8:03 p.m. Now it's time for them to alter the scene. I was going to ask that. When did the medics arrive? 8:08 p.m., remember? Hell of a response time for a penthouse. Private EMS came by air. It landed on the VTOL pad he saw outside, took him to Gatesfield. The very best if you can afford it. Looking around here seems like he could afford a lot. He has insurance through his employer, just like most people. I'm sorry. This is also evidence? Executive 4 plan. David Ash's health insurance policy with Koticus, paid for through Noble Electronics, includes private EMS services on standby. Koticus only offers its 3 levels of employer-provided plans that outrank it. Koticus offers 3 levels of employer-provided plans that outrank Executive 4. So he wasn't on the best plan. Isn't like most people counselors. He had executive level. Not like most people at all. I saw that. Penumbra Security Console located inside David Ash's kitchen used to contact emergency services when he fell unconscious. 8:04 p.m., 8:08 p.m. Interesting. You now have the chance to survey the crime scene. Yep. So you think you know what happened? Nope. Detective, is his body still at the hospital morgue? Yeah, he's at Gatesfield, along with 100 noble megs who've all called dibs. Now I'll just have to cut in line. Sarah, get me a ride to Gatesfield Memorial. What? You can't do that, can't you? Can, but I need your payment information to get started. Yeah, okay. Understood. On my way down. Got it? Sync complete. Set pickup for the 10 minutes should be plenty. The crowd in there seems to have gotten quite large. 10 minutes to reach pickup slot may be an ambitious target, Adonai. How bad can it be? I was not paying attention to what time it was. As I approach the lobby's exit, the building's soundproofing begins to fail. The crowd has gotten bigger, but there's something else happening out there. The energy's not panicked yet, but it's creeping up on the tipping points. Is there any people pissing Noble for selling androids? The hell's got them so excited? Adonai, what does that symbol mean? And Israel, probably something vulgar. Which one? The heart with the bullet hole? Ooh, they think I did this. I don't know, it's probably nothing. Based on association, it appears to be a symbol for the heartbreak killer. That doesn't make any goddamn sense. How would that freak have a symbol or a following or these whatever these people are? You have fans. You have fans. And why the hell would they be outside David Ash's apartment? Because Noble's trying to cover up the truth. They are? Those Megs in there are scrambling to shred every document they can. We need to stick together, form a perimeter, and try to catch them when they go to dump the scraps. Sarah, what are you hoping to find? Proof that Ash was killed for trying to blow the whistle. Blow the whistle on the Heartbreak Killer. Noble doesn't want the world to know that the A-16 is sentient and homicidal. Oh. It's sad. I had that thought in Chapter 0 when they were talking about the murders. Like, it's probably an android. Given this the setting, the story, the twist would be that it's an android. You think that Heartbreak is an android? If whoever did that was human? Noble's advanced prototype when Namaka started killing random people? Don't be a lamb, it only looks random. There's a clear pattern as long as you're smart enough to see past the bullshit. Oh, okay. And how does one see past the bullshit? Stop engaging. Smart kid, she gets it. She's asking the right questions. What the hell are you talking about? No way those victims were related. It's gotta be deniable ops. Oh boy. Deniable is a fictional classification for clandestine state action that need not be taken responsibility for because the plausible deniability and military disinformation efforts create enough confusion that every party involved, even the victims, can spin the outcome to suit their own needs. No such designation exists. Deniable ops are a common recurrent concept in online conspiracy theories, often used to avoid questions about why supposedly explosive agents were never reported on through the media or addressed by world governments. It is also commonly claimed that deniable ops make ample use of private military contractors in order to further distance governments from the political ramifications of military actions. They must all have been in DO together before getting their records bleached. Then as soon as they outlive their usefulness... What are you, nuts? Everyone knows the first 6 HK got to where the 6 prototypes came before him? Excuse me? So, the reminder to the one person who's still watching, this person is the... Morgan is the Heartbreak Killer, and she killed people. Where is she? Starling? Yeah, no, not Starling. Where is she? Ray's Rockford. She killed people who look like her. I am guessing out of jealousy? I don't know. Warm android's so perfect, no one can tell the diff. Bullet to the heart's the only way you can kill those over-engineered freaks. Everyone's got a goddamn opinion. I see. Stop seeing, start moving. These people are insane. Why don't you eat more corn slop, asshole? You think you can be the cyberpunk without ever... I'm sorry, what was that? Yeah? A mythologized countercultural icon or way of being. Originally termed went through a short science fiction story, later having grown into a genre all its own. Cyberpunk or cyberpunk historically is referred to a counterculture centered around the themes of underdogs resisting powerful corporate or government forces through digital guerrilla warfare. While the genre has persisted in modern times and evolved in numerous ways over the last 2 decades, it has taken on new meaning as a mythologized way of being for the adolescent or disaffected to aspire to. A code of conduct that emphasizes anti-authoritarianism, community organizing, corporate disengagement, and socioeconomic consciousness. True. The so-called singular cyberpunk has become a 21st century man without a name, a wanderer with their own rule of law. Cultural critic Simon Essentia criticizes the socialist first cheer hero. Is it any one of the most vulnerable among those turned to the past for guidance? The 99 Man explained. Are co-ops illegal? Amazing. I think it's a coincidence victim number 6 was working on hardcore crops. They're putting something in the food. People, Heartbreak, this is a goddamn embarrassment. How am I paying tax for the state can't shut this shit down? What about you, Adonai? What do you think about the Heartbreak figure? They're a murderer. Should be caught in sentence just like any other murderer. Must have some reason for doing such terrible things. Aren't you curious? Why? Are some reasons coming better than others? They might experience trauma or abuse. They might have Millions of people experience trauma and abuse every day. Millions. And there's only one heartbreak. So you think they were just born that way? That's my guess. That's unsatisfying. Sad. I don't see why it would be. If heartbreak was born like that, then they never had a chance to be anything else. If heartbreak was born like that, then none of us normal people would ever have to worry about turning out like them. That kind of predestination means that they never have to take responsibility for what they are. The state can make them take responsibility as soon as they catch them. You make it sound so trivial. They're a very dangerous serial killer. Just a serial killer. Just? If HK shot someone every day, it would take them 1,132 years and about 11 months in order to have killed 413,789 people. You did that in your head? Look at that mental math. You counted the leap years. What is the significance of that number? Death's been 18 months of the Blackfoot industrial disaster. Oh, hello. Oh, you're not gonna let me check it? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Oh, now you'll let me check it. Oh my god. Larger number of edits coming from net addresses outside your country's borders are proud to fight alongside variable user country and evaluate disintegration of the university latest. Oh my god. Times that by number by 2 for the injuries. Tack another 183% for the birth defects. 413,000 dead, and there wasn't anything evil about it, just human error, some shoddy welding, and time. So you think that heartbreak is nothing by comparison? Perhaps that's the problem then. They're nothing, then they represent nothing. They just stand for whatever the crowd wants them to. Please make way. Officials are coming through, please disperse. Keep blocking, pigs. Fascist. No belongs the cops, they do. Oh hey, it's these three. One of the cops are building their factories. Are you funny? Are we tolerating this shit? You want me to wade into a night sick with the crowd, prove them wrong? You know what I mean. Many people are trying to do some goddamn good, and they're all just... That's just part of our job, detective. You're a prosecutor. No offense, man, but wearing a police badge and dealing more hate than... To give prosecutors badges? I have an ID for a parking garage. Does that count? Depends. You ever hesitate to wear it in the open? Oh, that's a good face. That is a good face. This moral relativism of yours seems like a strange philosophy to someone in your profession had, and I. Breaking out the thesaurus on me. I'm only being realistic and humble. I'm just one woman, Sierra. Whatever I do, right or wrong, it's less than % running error in the grand scheme of things. Until I tell your clients? No, but they come to appreciate it when I win. I don't mean cops in particular. The same deal applies to anyone who works for the state. The terms are stark, but the ink dried a long time ago, and you all agreed to them. This is getting very philosophical. I don't recall voting for it. Well, not voting is how things come to pass, so we traded freedom for safety, individual rights for collective power. No. Incorrect. The state won the citizens' loss. Very least we can do is take their criticism head on. No, because the collective... what was the wording you used? The collective power? Yeah, collective power for a few people. Not the collective. Look, I don't have a problem with the responsibilities of authority, and with authority being challenged. But they treat us like we're the bad guys, because you are. You are literally the antagonist in this game. Are you? I'm not going to think about that. Well, sometimes we are. Sometimes the law is wrong. So if any given individual is too small to ever affect change, so if the public's going to hate us no matter what we do, and if corporations, governments, will trample over the people the same regardless of their character, and can't make sure we're doing the right thing, what do you do, Adonai? What the hell do we do? I think it's pretty simple. It's not as complicated as you think. In times like these, in a world like this, the logical way to live is, and the moral way to act is, do whatever it takes to win. Ooh, that's a good song. If I'm insignificant in the grand scheme of things, I can do my worst and no one will notice. If power is inherently evil, nothing holding back won't save your soul. Just fight with both barrels, and trust the opposition to do the same. Winner takes all. That's good. That's good. That was good. It is. Gatesfield Memorial Hospital. I am debating whether this would be a good time to pause. Thank you, your lifesaver. The next time that Bridezilla texts you, just turn your phone off. Chatty guy must have been due to go on break. We tried and failed to find the witness's medical records data pad had the name blacked out. But I say they have Conicus Executive 3, more expensive than David's, which means they must likely... How did you do that? You need to hold the button to get the doors closed faster, and mashing does nothing. That's not what I meant. There are many others who arrived before us. How did you get us down here so quickly? Well, I didn't do anything. It was that nurse who escorted us. Yes, but you managed to get a stranger like him to help you with so few words, so little information. I don't think you even gave him your name. Haven't you heard of the golden rule? Of course I have. That treat others how you would want to be treated. Wrong. Treat others how they would want to be treated. He wanted someone that could give advice to and wanted someone to pay attention to him, and he wanted to feel appreciated, which meant he'd be eager to help given the chance. Even just read someone's mood is quite difficult. How can you know how another person wants to be treated? There are no mind readers. No one can ever know anything about what anyone's thinking. Maybe not even themselves. It doesn't matter if they're your parent, your twin, your lover, it'll always be a gamble. That is not a very comforting sentiment. Well, I think it's fun. Well, because you're good at it. How'd you get good at it? Same as anything. Observation and practice. Must have been observing and practicing for a very long time then. So you proceed down the hall, bear left, look for the fourth door. I'm gonna open the one that says morgue on it. Okay. Oh, hey! Come on in, don't stay down there in the cold wouldn't be accurate. Sorry about the chill in here, but I run a little hot. And you can see my roommates never complain. Yumi Sato, medical examiner. She's got a good design. Hates to throw out coals, loves to make new playlists. Most proud of my weekly meal prep. Medical examiner, accessories, drive TV, palm reading, dislike social media, dress codes, ebooks. Though I didn't expect that I'd get to. The fact that they decided medical examiner and not some A ad or junior means. So you can just call me Yumi, and you're Morgan. I represent the deceased. The deceased? Oh, the deceased. Asher D. Hey, really? That's weird. I thought this time I was scheduled for a group of mobile PR people who... I know. Weird, right? Well, what the hell do I know? I was getting tired of hosting Megs anyway. I gotta finish typing up the report before I talk shop. In the meantime, feel free to make yourself at home. I am thinking. I'm trying to think of the time frame. If I'm thinking of it, it's probably a good time to, if not pause, then it probably is a good time. I did start late, and it is 1:43. I'll go ahead and call it here. Get an actual lunch. Thank you very much for showing up. There's one person still here. Thank you for sticking around. When we start, I should save. I should save. I should save. I no longer know how to save, huh? Okay, there we go. Save. That... Oof. That would have been fun. Anyway, go ahead and call it there. We'll pick this up. I think, if I'm going by Danganronpa rules, we're a third of the way through the chapter. Investigation, we should be about 3/4, maybe 2/3 of the way through it. We get to the end of this bit, there's another bit, maybe, and then the trial. And the trial is going to take, like... The trial is going to be the big one. So we will stop there, start with this next week. Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Anyway, I'm going to head off for the day. I don't think anybody I care about is currently streaming. This is the case, so I'm just going to stop. Have a good day, y'all. Good night.